Welcome back, everybody. It's me, Burrito. We're on Mustafar again. I've been holding the suspense over the Civilian Protection Guilds of Kashyyyk, though, because I never read the mails like I said I was. So the first one was this. The station says, good at successful escort. Great job escorting that droid pilot out of the Kashyyyk system. All of these pilot units should be updated and know what areas to avoid here above Wookiee Planet CA. Yeah, okay. Similar title with another successful escort. You've done a great service for these civilians. I don't know how they ran afoul of the Godel bandits, but you can be sure they're updating their navigation software right away. Thanks again. And from Ryan, instead of the Kashyyyk station, says, good rescue. The Grag mercenaries are becoming a real threat. Thank you. Thank the maker you were able to save the civilian transport. Who knows what might have happened otherwise. That's kind of weird. Maker's usually the droid thing, but whatever. We are so very thankful that you were able to save yet another civilian transport. Such bravery. Wow. But we're back on Mustafar. And what we're going to be starting with is the downed ship, which Milo has asked us to go back to the ship and go through the access terminal and see if we can't find any useful information off the ship's databanks. Because we're trying to find ways to increase the station's productivity to meet an order made by the Empire. And we're just a freelancer that would be like, yeah, sure. If you got the money, Milo, we'll help you out. So let's start down here at the bridge of the ship. Wow, working terminal. You can't actually sit in the chairs, RIP. This terminal would be functional if its circuit boards were replaced. And then I say out loud, maybe I should find it some circuit boards. No response. I don't know what I was hoping for there, but we gotta go find some other circuit boards for a terminal, which if we go back up the ship wreckage this way, we should be able to find some right around here. There's a destroyed terminal that we can salvage. We remove the circuit board. So let's go back and put that circuit board in the, quote, working terminal, unquote. Oh yeah, I forgot there's a special heavy weapon. I don't think I clicked this last time I was here. The Devastator lava cannon, which I'm just going to tell you, looks like a normal lava cannon. But it's named after the lava cannon that drops off the Devastator droid, because you can get the acid stream launcher and the lava cannon dropped off him. We're back with the working terminal, though. Let's slide these circuit boards in here. The terminal appears to be offline. This doesn't appear to be working. Do I have to radio it and click use? Oh, I have to search salvage mandates for more. I can't read, dude. What's the exact quest thing here? Salvage bandits in the area probably remove the circuit boards from the terminal. Search them before. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the terminal was already scrapped, basically. And so we're just like, well, these guys probably had them, so we're going to ask politely here. And see if we can't get forward, which we do off that group. Very convenient. Anything good loot? Nope. This terminal's offline. We slide them in. Looks like we still need to do a little bit more here, so what do we do? It says activate the computer. We open up the radio. We can install circuit boards, which doesn't interest us. Okay, I guess I just clicked on it too fast. The quest update before I could do it. The working terminal opens with query, where am I? You mean that you don't know? Application, searching memory banks, thruster control, navigating computer, large, bulbous body. I think I am a starship. Yes, you are a crashed Old Republic cruiser. This is most interesting. I do not recall being a starship. My blasters are offline. You do not recall. Did you... What do you need blasters for? Statement. It is better to be safe than sorry. I don't think you're going to need your blasters. Statement. It has been my experience that it is much harder to blow things up without them. Of course, I could just land on them, but my thrusters appear to be offline as well. Okay, moving on. I need to ask you some questions. I believe I have located it. I have found it very odd that it isn't here. It should be, but then again, I have been offline for a very long time. And then I respond with, located what? I don't think you need to worry about that. It is more of a personal problem. You wanted to ask me some questions, I might have answers. So I asked the terminal, I need to find out a way to increase the output in a mining facility. Oh, I was hoping it would involve blasters. If you wait for a moment, I will search my database to see if there's any information on mining facility, increase productivity of, and then I interrupt saying, you really like blasters. Statement, what is not to like? The light, the noise, the screaming. Oh, I have located the information on the mining facility. If you reroute the lower subroutine in the main reactor to the query missing, output increase of 300%, I hope that was answered your query to satisfaction. Then I go, wait, what about that missing part in the middle? You mean the query missing part? I'm afraid that is all that is located in my memory banks. I cannot be positive, but I do not think I am functioning correctly. You should transfer me to the Republic facility that is nearby. They will definitely have the information you require. What Republic facility? The one that is several clicks to the northeast of this location. Was there another 5,000-year-old relic of the past in this area I was not aware of? You simply need to hook up the satellite uplink to my mainframe, and I can transfer to the facility from there. I'm sure I can find what you were looking for. Now, where is the satellite uplink around here? Answer. Of course. The strange people with all the droids left it not too long ago. You need to enter the cavern, and the automated repair system will come online. Like the nice, mindless droid it is, it will reconnect the uplink. Of course, the Kubaza beetles might be a problem. Since you lack a guidance system, I will supply you with the location of the cavern. What Kubaza beetles? While running a short-range scan of the area, I discovered that the Kubaza beetles have moved into that cavern. It was probably them that tore the uplink relay in the first place. Or tore down, yeah. There is a 98% chance that they will not like you being there. I recommend that you kill them before they kill you. And then you can give me the information I need. Answer. I am close to positive that the information you need will be there. Of course, I have noticed that I am occasionally wrong. But in this case, I think I am correct. You should hook up the uplink. Besides, I am sure you will get to blast a few things along the way. Why do you think that? Statement. Things have a tendency to get blasted when I'm around. I wish my blasters worked. So, the transfer the AI quest that we just got to create an uplink is the first instance in the chain of instances that is known as the Champion of Mustafar quest series. This one is recommended for a group. I wouldn't say you need 8 players, but having at least 2 is useful, especially if one of them is a medic, if you're not super geared. I'm going to go try and solo as an officer, as it's usually pretty easy to solo if you use some special strategies, but we're also pretty strong, so I'm confident we can do something here. Also, sup, sex mug. I had to open my bullshit to basic diary and enter, click. I still love that even in a galaxy far, far away, they use slang terms for identical units of measurement. Okay, so we are here at the entrance to the Kubaza Beetle Cavern, which is the name of the instance. Again, if you're not super geared up, I don't recommend doing this solo. Just get one friend. Doesn't even necessarily need to be a medic. Just if you're both undergeared, the medic can definitely carry you 2 through it, but let's just go in. All right, so we're going to take out our familiar. I'm going to switch from Acaragum to Breath of Heaven for a little bit more survivability. Kubaza beetles don't cause bleeds, but I believe they might have a chance to disease. So I'll take some disease-fighting food through our con buff here. And let's just go for melee damage to screw it. And so as we enter the cavern, we'll enter from this door over here, and then you can see that this droid spawns behind us. This is the self-repair system that the ship terminal talked about. It's a relay repair droid. So what it's going to do is it's going to path around this whole cavern, and it's going to drop relays. And it needs to drop a specific number of relays to complete its job. However, there's some problems here. First of all, these Kubaza Beetle drones are going to want to keep the integrity of their nest alive. And that's going to be, of course, destroying the relays that are getting produced. So we need to first destroy these nests to get rid of these drones, to make sure that they don't spawn any more in. So let's destroy them. I'm not going to worry too much about keeping them all clean, but I don't exactly want to let them go, as this instance is completed based on the time it takes for the relay droid to construct all the relays. Now, the droid will respawn if destroyed, which is good since it's only a level 55. And that's fine, but generally we don't want it to die because we want to complete this as fast as possible, right? Time is money to them. One thing you're going to want to note, though, that if you are melee, you'll see that my health dropped significantly there. And it's not just because I have a bunch of beetles shooting me, or biting me. That's one of them. The other problem, though, is Kubaza beetles in here, and while most Kubaza beetles, but not all, they'll explode when slain. And so if I slay, you know, one on top of me, it's not too bad. But when I slay 6 and they all explode simultaneously, it's quite the burst of damage. Also, though, we're getting a couple on us, so we might want to slow down on this a little bit here. And we're going to keep moving backwards while slaying them. See how the transfer is doing. Okay, so these soldiers are going to start spawning now that we're attacking their lair, and they will automatically seek down the droid and destroy it. So when I see them, I'm going to try and aggro them like that. I gotta remember, I'm not, like, the tankiest, especially against explosions. So we're gonna just be a little careful here. I'm gonna try and thin the Kubaza beetles' numbers before I attack the next layer and see if I can't get some resources to regenerate in the meantime. So you'll notice that these soldiers are getting stuck trying to path to us. That's one of the reasons why this instance is fairly easy to complete, is there's plenty of ways to take advantage of that failure to path behavior. And we're going to be doing that later in the instance to make this a little bit easier on us. But let's take out this layer. Not having luck on these inspiration procs. Alright, so while you're at the far end of this layer, you'll see sitting over here on top of this wreckage, OR5's E5. I'm not moving, eat my ass. We're going to want to pick it up for the Carbine collection. I am not moving. This one's being picky. Now I'm in combat. Oh, it's probably the worker. The workers will aggro to you or aggro to the relay droid. Usually it's the droid. Speaking of which, it looks like it's been getting its butt kicked, so maybe I should go babysit it for a little while, else we might not ever get out of here. And these drones still alive have been tearing down the relays that have been going up. So you can see this is what it looks like when it puts a relay down. It looks like these survey devices that we clicked around Kashyyyk while we were there. I do want to note that the Kubaza Beetle Cavern is a good place to, at the keyboard, head into. And from ISO enzymes, it's a very common place to do it. You don't have to even do it at the keyboard. Just come on in, sit in the front corner there where you enter, and then just run an AFK macro. And you will just... Beetles will keep pathing on top of you, and you'll just keep slaying them. You just have to come and check your inventory every once in a while, but it's a pretty high spawn area. So if you ever need to farm ISO enzymes, it's not a bad place to do it, because I believe this instance stays open for 1 hour. So you can do that for an hour, come back, see what you get. Or more likely come back after half an hour, sort your inventory. These guys are a little bit chunkier than I give them credit for, you know. Usually when I do this instance, I'm just playing on my commando and I turn my brain off. And then like 15 minutes later, 10 or 15 minutes later, it's done. I'm like, cool. This is also another good example of why you want to carry around a ranged weapon, even if you're melee. So if that happens and the enemy gets stuck, or you're just trying to get some aggro on it before it runs over to the mining droid, you can do that. So when relays get destroyed by drones, sometimes the drone will have to path back to an earlier area. So that's why I said earlier, we don't want it to get destroyed usually. Because sometimes letting the droid be destroyed so it respawns at the doors actually faster. Unfortunately, I don't really keep good tabs on that thing, so I'm just going to not worry about it. We're just going to pretend that it's all right. But when the droid drops its last pylon, its relay uplink, there's going to be another wave of enemies that spawn in. And ideally, you want to be over here, kind of on this central landmass. You don't really want to be over there, which is a common place for the droid to finish, since that's generally the last place it paths to. But I'm still trying. Yep, there it is. All right, so you can see once the final relay is up, all the relays will spark to life, and they'll have little lights come out of the top of them. But similarly, you will see the Kubaza Beetle Foreman and its 4 Defender Beetles spawn. And there still might be some Soldier Beetles like this one. So you'll see the Kubaza Beetle drones are back, but they're crawling out from the walls of the cavern and then rushing towards the Foreman. So what that mechanic is they will run up to the Foreman and explode, doing damage to anything nearby, but their explosion also heals the Foreman. So the ideal strategy would be to somebody grab the Foreman and then pull him around the room and try and slow or slay the drones in a manner to where they won't run up and immediately detonate. However, we're going to by ourselves, so we're going to play a little safe. So we're going to stand, again, over here in the middle aisle, kind of like here, and we're going to just start shooting the Kubaza Beetle defenders. And what that's going to do is they share a threat table, so they're going to start trying to attack me and stack up. And that's fine. I know I have melee build here, but most of my abilities, aka the AoEs, can still be fired at from range, so we're just going to whittle these enemies down a little bit. Now, the problem with this setup is that, as you can see right there, they will drop threat if they can't path to you after a period of time. So if your damage is too low, you won't actually be able to get through them quick enough. But we're going to just try and see if we can at least get rid of the Defender Beetles. The Foreman does actually hurt. Gonna auto-fire. Because I think that's going to drop soon. Okay, there's their attempt to drop combat. Now it's coming back. Now we'll open up on it. That's going to hit the Foreman, but that's fine. He can't get over here either. This is what I mean by it's pretty easy to solo. Obviously, if you're a Jedi, this is going to be a lot harder to do as you don't have as many ranged options to carry you. Similarly, if you're not very well geared, this is not really a good option for you either, as the enemies will likely drop threat before you can defeat them. Okay, well, let's see how we do on the Foreman with this setup. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk back, and I'm actually going to put a rally point down here. I prefer not to fight the Foreman, as he does hit hard, and the exploding drones are a pain in the butt. But if this isn't going as fast as I would like it, then we might start playing a little risky here. Luckily, we do have Scatter still, which will help us get away from the explosions if those start proving to be a problem. Yeah, you can see I got him about 10% down. Yeah, we're probably going to run over and start hitting him at some point. Yeah, so this would work. This is kind of slow. But it was either do this or go get my medic again and have my medic just pump me full of heals, which I could have done. It wouldn't have taken that long. I usually do this instance unbuffed with my commando or medic. It's not hard to pass the damage check once you just at least have your gear. This is just, I am not range build on my officers, so let's see, let's switch to melee. Let's see how spicy this is. I don't know if do roots work on him? No, roots do not work on him. You also want to keep moving, avoid those drones, explosions. Trying to stay in range of melee. A little bit harder to do this when you're melee. Okay, well, we have plenty of damage, and we're just durable enough to where I probably could have 100 0'd that, but We have gotten the Kubaza Bane badge for completing this piece of content, but we're going to run back over here and pick up OR5's E5 now that we're not stuck in combat. So to be careful about moving. Walk up here, stop. Let's give it a second. We're good. All right, so you can either go back to the front door, or you can enter the command /eject, and then you'll see processing eject request. And as long as you don't move, the eject, and you don't get in combat or anything, the eject request will process, and it will just shunt you back to the same location that clicking on the front door would, which would be the entrance to this cavern. And now we got to go back to the ship's terminal. So the reason I wanted to do Kubaza Beetle Cavern now, even though I know in my, oh man, I think in my 1 to 90 video I recommended getting up to transfer the AI quest and then not going forward until you get a group, is because we're going to be going to the Old Republic facility in the northeast after this section of the content, or after this section of the quest. And the Old Republic facility has an instance timer like the Kubaza Beetle Cavern. So you can see that it's open for a period of time, and then it will be closed until a reset that happens every 24 hours. And the Old Republic facility, like I said, has that same lockout. And so if I was to go in, do the main quest that we have there right now, which is a history lesson, and then come out and then go back, we actually wouldn't be able to progress some of the other quests, like transfer the AI, because I believe it's either in the Fragments of the Past quest line or in the Transfer the AI quest line. There is a quest requirement to turn on the facility's power. So if I were to go in, turn the facility's power, come back out, progress these quests, then go back in, I actually wouldn't be able to finish these other quests. So I'm trying to get Transfer the AI, Fragments of the Past, up to the point where we have to go into the Old Republic facility. So I could do those two and a history lesson all at the same time, so we only have to go in there once. But we're back at the working terminal. There's no response. The ship's AI must have already transferred itself to that facility northeast, so I respond with strange. No response. So yeah, now we have to go to the Old Republic facility. Let's see, but before we do that, what would be fastest? Actually, yeah, let's do that. Okay, we're going to go on to Tulrus Isle. And we're going to do a couple things there. So the things we're going to do on this isle is we're going to do a non-required Fate of the Galaxy quest, which is the Strike. That's the one where the miners asked us to prove our mettle by going around and collecting Tulrus eggs. If I see the markers for this isle, I'm going to also click that while I'm there. There should be at least 2 on the interior, I believe. There might be 3 in there. There's 3 on the isle we need to click, though. But either way, I'm going to be trying to collect eggs from these nests. These waypoints that I have for the nests, I got from the SWG Legends wiki, and the reason I generated them is these nests have a history of gaslighting me. As what the nests look like are... Yeah, there are these pile of rocks with these tall spires coming out of it, which is the thing you click on, those things. But there's also some around the area that look like that, but aren't actually the nests. They're just decorative nests. So I have a hard time finding the ones you're supposed to click on historically with this quest. I'm also defeating Tulrus because I have a few quests related to defeating them. One I got from an ivory horn that I inspected after looting. The other one I got from... something that requires me to collect stomach contents. I'm also going to be destroying the waypoints of the nest that I search. There's also some Jundak around here, and we're going to be defeating those as well. As I need to defeat... I need to loot their teeth. I'm going to switch back to Akragam for some movement speed, as we're going to do a lot of walking here on Tulrus Isle. When you're on Tulrus Isle, you want to be tucking your mount away when you're not using it. The Tulrus know the ability Trample, which is a giant cone of effect that deals pretty good damage in roots targets. But to that extent, it's basically it's a speeder crusher. It's gonna break your speeder. So if you're riding around the planet with, say, your desert skiff out, you're gonna potentially end up with it broken a few times if you're not careful around Tulrus. Oh, so for the man-eater quest, we just got an update from Massive Chief Gloss that says, "This is urgent. We just received word that Tulrus will strike again. Fortunately, the attack wasn't fatal and took place not far from where you are now. Maybe the Tulrus responsible is still in the area, and if you hurry, you'll be able to destroy it." So that's for the quest of Man-Eater, and we will do that when we head over to Birkin's Flow. But for now, collect that layer. And I usually like kind of going back and forth between the areas, so I'm going to mount up, drive across the other side. I know there's a bunch of things here I still need to defeat, but well, this is a target-rich environment. We'll have plenty of opportunities to defeat some Tulrus. Oh, by the way, the notable loot that we got from the Kubaza Beetle is the warmly glowing air magnifier, which is used in a couple cool Chugandar cube recipes. The more important item you can loot from it is the sprint enhancement stem. This is this item that I've been using to run through indoor areas really quickly. It has a long cooldown, but it's very good. So if you get that, that's probably like 5 to 7 mil in your pocket. If you don't want to keep it for yourself. Gotta click this one, which sometimes it just doesn't want to. Click that one. Oh, hey. Okay, this should be all the Tulrus for Beasts from the East, which is the repeatable quest item that we're fulfilling. There it is, kill 20 Tulrus, get 7,000 credits. Not really banger of a reward, but honestly, I take it over the repeatable quest on Kashyyyk where you have to go drive out to the same person and you get like 2,000 credits or 10, that, you know, whatever. At least this one, just they drop as quest items and you just look at them. So here it is. This is the Beast from the East ones, which is kill 20 Tulrus. We're not worried about that one right now, though. We're worried about the strike. Oh, here is the nesting grounds marker. Do not stop me. Tulrus nesting grounds. The nesting grounds are the traditional breeding grounds of the Tulrus. The Tulrus has successfully driven out most predators from their island in order to better protect their young. Only the Jundak and Shere Kar, of course, managed to survive on this island. It's interesting. I think that's the first, like, name drop we see for the creature known as Shere Kar. From the minor marker lore. Bruh, I'm just trying to steal your eggs. Can you calm down? There we go. I'm gonna try and be quick about clicking the rest of these, as I don't really need to defeat too many more Tulrus. I do need those Jundak, but I'm debating whether or not if I really want to farm them or not. I mean, the Tulrus really aren't giving me an option here. You can do something like that, though. Click it and run. You don't have to stand around and fight them. Okay, what am I still in combat with? Come on. Let me click you. There it is. Alright, we just have one egg left. Right on track. So we're going to drive down back into the center of this little island valley here. We're going to go straight up towards these green waypoints. And we should get a update. Yep, there it is. Splinter's awake. All of a sudden, the now familiar vibrations and humming sounds from the crystal splinters in your backpack start again. So this is from Fragments of the Past. You see this Tulrus here named Magma Horn. We're going to need to feed him. He's a special Tulrus, and he's carrying... Yep, we got a Splinter from him, so task complete. Splinter's awake. So we could get rid of these green waypoints. There's one more... And no, yeah. Gotta get another nest right, or egg right over here. And I see a bunch of Jundaks standing around over there. Maybe I should just hit a few of them. There we go. So now we can go back to the miner, nerf Lazop. Let's just, I think I'm just going to get this marker, and then we're going to get the rest of the teeth we need. Sheercar Cave marker. Warning, entering into the Sheercar Cave is very foolish and will result in your death. By the order of Milo Mensix, the cave has been sealed. A relic that we located at the Jedi... Sealed by a relic we located at the Jedi ruins. Seems like a really arbitrary way to seal it. It might have been better to, like, just blast... You're a mining company. I'm sure you have explosives laying around. You should blast it shut. There we go. We got 8,000 from the Jundak teeth collecting. See, there's some players around here. They might have gone into or out of Sheerkar's cave. We can't get into Sheerkar's cave right now. If you click on it, it says, well, we're too far away from it. But if we go up, click on it, it won't let us in. There is a prerequisite to getting entrance to the cave. Yep, we don't have permission to enter Mustafar's Sheerkar lair. We'll definitely be getting that later in our adventure, but we need to collect a few more things. / I need to get the thing off my medic. Sheerkar's not high on my list of things to do right now. Alright, so after defeating all those Tulrus and Jundak, collecting those eggs, we're actually going to head over Birkin's Flow to the site of the most recent attack for the Man-Eater, so let's track that. On our way over, there's one more miner marker we have to click. It's down here somewhere. If I don't find it, I have a list of waypoints that I will... Oh, wait, that might have been it? Or was this the one I got earlier? Oh, this is it. Warning, proceed past this point at your own risk. Tulrus are extremely protective of their breeding grounds and will attack any intruder on sight. I feel like a lot of creatures are protective of their breeding grounds. That's just me, though. We just completed that task, travel to Tulrus Isle. That is for the exploration of Mustafar quest. You might have saw me get that yesterday for the Central Volcano. So if you all did click on that map of Mustafar in the lobby of the Mensix mining facility. If you travel across the main bridges between areas, that's usually where you get the discovery point. Because I already have a vehicle that lets me go over lava, like a lot of players will if you kept the Desert Skiff or Lava Flea or etc. I've kind of been driving past those. I'll go back and grab them later. I actually never completed that quest on Legends just because I never looked at the Mustafar map and was like, I want that. I had it on live, though. I thought it was fun. Here we are at the site of the most recent attack. Wow, they actually damaged my jetpack, assholes. Destroy Fohorn. Oh, there he is. There he goes. We got an ISO, though. Wait, no. We already had that. While we're here, I'm going to click on this chemical locker over here. This is for the... What is it? The rug. The, hold on. Oh, why can't I remember what that thing's called? Skin the Blissmox. Okay, so if you picked up the Skin the Blissmox quest from earlier, I wasn't doing this yesterday, but if you're at these mining caps and you see a chemical locker, you can radial it and do take preservative. You just need to get 3 of those. You don't have to go to every mining camp, just camps with have those. As for the Man-Eater quest, we are done with that one. So what we can do is, I'll just drive north. We'll have a nice leisurely drive. So we're in the northeast corner of Mustafar right now. You can see us up here. There's 2 ways. If we go left, go to the Old Republic facility. Let's not go there quite yet, though. Let's go right, heading east and south down this way. We want to do everything up in here first before we go to the Old Republic facility. So if we turn right, we'll see coming around the corner here another waypoint. This is sort of fragments of the past. We have 2 splinters now out of 4. We got to find 2 more. Well, we're going to get an update from our little sensor machine pretty soon here. Oh, there it is. Splinter's awake. All of a sudden, the new familiar vibrations of the humming sounds from the crystal splinters in your backpack start again. And now it says, Splinter's awake. Figure it out. You need to defeat these Phantoms bandits, which are level 69 knights, as they are holding on to... One of them has a part of the splinters. There we go. We got it. That's all we had to do here. So let's pick back up, and let's just keep heading south. So if you're heading south on the right side, you'll see two NPCs standing over here. Two Bothans. Well, one's not standing, but if you speak to Geralt, she says, please don't tell me that you're on your way to join up with that Dr. Namdout. Well, I suppose he calls himself the Stormlord now. I'm afraid I don't know what you were talking about. Phew, finally, someone with some sense. You shouldn't travel. Don't tell me you have no sense. Like, what are you even talking about? And they're like, oh, you're sensible. You're naive. Good. You shouldn't travel any further up this road. That madman and his followers have almost completely taken over the whole valley. The only people they even tolerate are the group of scavengers who pay occasional homage to the Stormlord. Who or what is the Stormlord you keep mentioning? I am sorry, I completely forgot my manners. I am Geralt, a reporter from the Corellian Times. Perhaps you have read my column on galactic exploration? No? Anyways, I was out here reporting on Dr. Namdal's excavation of the temple ruins up that way. There are temple ruins up there? Yes, a very large complex of them. Dr. Namdal was uncovering some amazing finds. It would seem that those ruins were once the main temple on Mustafar. He was on the trail of something big when the change occurred. He said that he had found evidence that a powerful Jedi artifact was once housed in the temple, and that it might have something to do with why Mustafar is like it is today. You said a change occurred. It was subtle at first, barely noticeable. Sometimes you would get the feeling someone was watching you, even though you were all by yourself. Other times you would hear, well, I could swear they were voices, but they were too low to understand. Everyone was feeling it, and Dr. Namdout, the worst of all. Go on. Dr. Namdout started to talk back to the voices. At first, when we would ask him about it, he would just chuckle and say that it was nothing. But after a while, he would catch him having conversations with nothing. When we asked him about those, he would get very angry and tell us to mind our own business. Then one day, he just walked out of the base camp and went to the summit temple ruins. Sounds like the good doctor just snapped. Some of us thought that too, but what happened when he came back left no doubt in my mind that those voices and strange feelings were real. The doctor was gone for a few days, and then one morning just showed back up. But he was different. He declared his divinity to the whole camp and ordered everyone to worship him as the Stormlord. I was right. The doctor lost his mind. Hush, let me continue. After Dr. Namdal made the proclamation, the sky darkened, and lightning began pounding the ground around the camp. The members of the team who were feeling the effects of that place the worst immediately dropped to their knees and started praying to him. It took others a little longer to come around, but eventually everyone was enthralled by him. Everyone but me and my brother Talpur. That's because they're the Bothans, and they were big, smart brain doggos. Dark side whispering doesn't have the same effect on dogs. I was going to ask about him. He doesn't sound so good. Yes, I fear he is dying. Yeah, I like how we're having this conversation. This guy's just face down in the dirt. Which, he's probably okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. Eh? Yeah, he seems fine. While everyone else was worshipping the Stormlord, Talpur yelled at him, calling him a fraud. Dr. Namdal looked at my brother with such venom and called him an unbeliever. Then he did something. What do you mean, something? I don't really know. One moment my brother was facing down Dr. Namdal, and then the next he was lying on the ground, writhing in pain. All the doctor did was wave his hand at him. Since then, Talpur has been steadily getting worse. I don't think he will last very much longer, and as far as I can tell, there's nothing wrong with him. I can only assume that it is the doing of the Stormlord. Is there anything I can do? Maybe, just maybe. I have been paying close attention to the goings-on in the camp, and I think I found an answer. The doctor immediately began sending his worshippers out to gather up more followers, and I was wondering why. Well, it would seem that none of them survived very long. Almost all of the group of original followers are dead. I have seen their bodies. They look drained. I am not following you. I think that the doctor is doing something to his followers that drains their life away from them. Perhaps this is the source of his power. If he didn't have so many people following him, maybe he would lose strength, and he would lose power over my brother. I know it is a long shot, but it's the only thing that I can think of. I will see what I can do about his followers. Thank you. Try taking out some of his minions. I am sure that if he loses enough of them, he will become weaker. Okay, so what we're going to do before heading any further in is we're going to call one of our ITVs. Let's do... This one. Right? No, that one's useful. Let's do this one. And let's overwrite the Birkin's Flow one with Stormlord Ruins. As we're going to have to come back here much later today, or much later on our Mustafar campaign. So we're just going to prep for that now. Let's take some food buffs, refresh that. I'm going to put some power-ups on for this one, and we're going to remount. We're going to head straight in. I do want to reference that the Sickness of the Stormlord questline is rated as a group quest eventually. At the beginning, it's not, as you're just slaying some minions. But once you get to some of the tougher enemies, specifically taking on the Stormlord himself, we will be having to be a little bit careful. So here are some minions. So let's start dealing with them. They also have some trained Blissmocks here, which I believe should count for our Blissmock rug quest. Let's see. Oh, nope. It'd be a nice, very polite person named Scar here. We're going to leave them to meditate. No sense ruffling their jimmies. Not yet, anyways. My question with the Stormlord plotline is, so they made it so he's like this he's this evil entity that's draining the life out of people to supplant his own power, right? Where the hell are you recruiting people on Mustafar? It's not like it's exactly a big tourist location, and all of his minions are like humans. So he's not recruiting from the Mustafarians. But either way, we're over here on the west side of the compound near this hill, and we see this buried tablet here. Let's click on that. And we're going to get a quest from it called a hidden treasure, question mark. The buried tablet. There's a buried tablet stuck in the lava rock. You can only see the top half of what's written on it. From what you can make out, someone referring to themselves as a knight explains that with recent developments, she's forced to hide something in the vault. The location of this vault on the tablet, as well as the sequence needed to disable this security system. Unfortunately, that part is cut in half. You quickly copy down what is written on the plaque to your datapad. This quest, a hidden treasure, is part of the Fate of the Galaxy prerequisite quest line, so we want to pick that up while we're here, but it's going to take us out here, so we're not going to worry about that one. We're going to focus on Sickness of the Stormlord, where we got to go defeat a couple more minions, so let's go do that. Okay, we don't need to worry about the scavengers right now. We're just here for the minions. There's one more minion, and they got our name on them. All right, now that we've defeated 15 minions, we might have weakened the Stormlord, but we need to go report back to Geralt for more information, so let's drive back up there. Here we are back with Geralt. Speaking to her again, she says, "You are back. How did the mission go?" "It has been taken care of. How's your brother?" "There hasn't been any change in his condition. Maybe the minions are just not powerful enough to have any effect on Dr. Nemdal's strength. I think we're going to have to aim higher. I am listening." Not all of the Stormlord's original worshippers died. Some of them took on traits that are very similar to his. I call them zealots. They are fanatic, and in their worship of the Doctor. Maybe their strength adds to his somehow. If they were eliminated, maybe Talbot would get better. I will hunt down the zealots for you. So the Stormlord minions were pretty well scattered around the base of that little hill area that we were in and the entrance. This one we're going to have to go a little bit further up the hill. As zealots, you'll find partway up the hill, / towards the top, / kind of the midsection. You can see it here as we drive in. You see this like barrack camp up here. You'll find some zealots up there, some a little bit higher on those platforms coming off the side, and there's another camp back up this way. I'm circling with my mouse cursor. We don't need to worry about this camp down here. Again, that's mostly scavengers. Up the hill from that, I believe that's another scavenger camp. So we're not too concerned about them. Let's go find these zealots, though. There we go. So you'll see the zealots are wearing these robes, and they have these sick face guards. So we're just going to start knocking them down. Never really looked in their barracks. Why does anyone sleep? Do y'all just sleep on the ground? Never find... I mean, there are some areas with cots on Mustafar, but not nearly as many beds or bedrolls or cots that you would find I feel like the ground will also be potentially pretty warm since it's such an active volcano planet. Let's just go straight up this hill. Looks like there's another player here. Seems that they're defeating some zealots as well. Oh, right. Some of the enemies here have cryo grenades. That's right. Let's go around to the side camp since that player has that group under control. There's no more zealots past up that point. We do have some down here. Mostly minions. Yeah, this camp is one of the more dangerous spots in this area. You can see there are a lot of NPCs here that will attack you. I wasn't even like... Even if you don't use an AoE here, you just aggress a lot of them at once. So it could be a little bit more dangerous of a spot if you're not with friends or just a couple other players. It's funny, I've done this quest a couple of times, and it's actually a very common place to run into other players because of the quest reward, which some of you who've watched my other videos will already know what it is. But, or even just watched videos earlier in the series as I've talked about it, and I'm using it right now. But, we'll get to that when we get there. Let me see if, I don't believe there's any more zealots down here. I just need 2 more. Yeah, these are all minions and guards. And there's the Prophet. And none of the zealots really sit down here, so yeah, we're gonna have to wait. I didn't know there was another player here, to be honest. That's you? Oh, what's up, Jay? Do you need help? What a coincidence. Get him. Like I said, I've run into players on Mustafar. A good portion of my time is here. There you go. Good job. Nice. I'm gonna get the Gauss rifle. Easy. Stormlords respawn, by the way, everybody. It's about 10 minutes, so not a terribly long period of time. And besides, if he's not back, I have to come back to this area later for the second part of a history lesson. So... been struggling with that quest done. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about earlier. This quest isn't marked as a group quest, but the last part of defeating the Stormlord, the level 90 boss, can be challenging. Ungrouped. Usually just having at least one, even if like I wasn't super geared up, that last point, like even if you just have one other person, it just he gets a lot easier. So we are also done. So let's go back to Jaral. I think the hardest quests on Mustafar, besides the ones that take you into instances, are this one. And... honestly, the nesting eggs one is kind of annoying. I want to say it's the hardest, but it's obnoxious because of the Tulrus. I guess Fate of the Galaxy's tough, but that brings you to an instance, so... getting back at SWG after 10 years is more difficult than you remember. Yeah, I mean, 10 years is a long time to forget things. And again, that's the biggest challenge with Star Wars Galaxies, is just the knowledge curve. I'm glad that the channel's been helping out, though. So back with Jaral, I could hear the sounds of the battle all the way down here. I was afraid that you wouldn't make it back. Don't worry about me. I am no stranger to a fight. Well, the good news is that Talper looks like a little better today. I think our plan is working. The problem is that we are just not doing enough, which got to me thinking, if the Zealots help strengthen the Stormlord, then maybe the Fanatic, the more the Fanatic the Worshipper is, the more powerful he becomes. You want me to take out some Zealots? No, I was thinking of someone who is more fanatical than all of the Zealots combined. The Prophet. He has a prophet? Yes, Dr. Nabdal no longer directly speaks to his followers. Instead, he only talks to his most devoted follower, who then he preaches to all the others. I think if you were to defeat the Prophet, the Stormlord would be so weak that he couldn't Maintain control over the Tulrus sickness. Once more into the brink. Ellipses. Jorrel says, now I must warn you, the Prophet is nearly as strong as Dr. Nam Doubt. Not true. The Prophet's much weaker than the Stormlord. And he will fight to the death to protect his master. This is no small challenge that I have asked for you. Good luck. So again, we're just going to go see what we can do about the Prophet, who's in the back, down, kind of like down on a little hill. So like the Stormlord gets the big hill, the Prophet gets the tiny hill, is what I think is pretty funny about it. I think the Prophet, I don't know what his spawn timer is, but I don't think it's particularly long. What's good? So yeah, level 87. How much health do you have, max? 37k. Yeah, you don't got shit on your master. But he's defeated. Did we get his sneakers? No. Got the dimly glowing rod, though. That I do use for a few Chugundar Cube combinations. Let me finish. Recording rod. You scoundrels. I already know what you're thinking. Let's go back to Jorrel. I'm going to check. Speed right by here. So, but for those who are like, well, what's the thing you get? So when you complete this quest line, you get the Mustafarian Ejector, which gives you the 100 to your strength and precision, and I've been using it since level 55 because it lets you. I purchased it from another player. If you ever need cash, and you've already used up all your character slots, but if you have some characters that say are entertainers or crafters, a good thing to do is bring them out here, drag them through this quest line, and then you can sell off their injectors if you have no intention of using them as combat characters ever, or you don't really care if they have an injector themselves. That was the way I earned credits early. I had like 2 crafters, so I sold their injectors and some of their loot. And then I kept my other 3 characters at the time. Because you could even drag them through the entirety of the Fate of the Galaxy, which is what some people used to do, like as a job, basically. And get the final buff item from that and sell that. Back with Jorrel, though. I was very worried about you. I know the Prophet is no ordinary thug. The good news is that Tulrus actually opened his eyes for a little while. That is how I knew you had won. Yeah, I bet the Prophet... Oh, yeah, I beat the Prophet, so is Tulrus going to be alright? I don't know. He still has a fever and hasn't opened his eyes since that one time. I'm afraid that there is only one way to be certain. I must ask you to kill the Stormlord. I figured it would come this. Where is he? He never leaves his temple at the top of the mountain anymore. I am sure that all of your prior efforts have weakened him. Now is the perfect time to strike before you can regain any strength. Good luck to you. We'll go check one more time just to make sure that I'm not wrong. I feel like his spawn timer is about 10 minutes. The reason is I know some of these named NPC overworld spawn timers is one thing that I used to do on live for making credits, and I did a little bit on Legends, is that the overworld of Mustafar has special named NPCs that drop certain glowing loot. So a good example is the Stormlord. He'll drop dimly glowing spools and bones, I believe, and maybe something else, which are desirable. But they kind of end up forming a big circle. So what I would do is I would set down camps on live. On Legends, I would set down ITVs. I just basically go clockwise around the map. When I get to one end, which is usually like the droid factory or up over here with the Stormlord, I drop an ITV, teleport back to the beginning, and that would be enough time for those NPCs to respawn. And I would just farm him. Yeah, Stormlord's not here. We'll come back later. And that was a good way of just making money because the general loot you'll get from common NPCs, like the family going power pack here, it's not worthless. You can definitely sell it for a little bit, especially if you're willing to like separate stacks, sell them individually, or sell them in larger stacks. But it's really the specific loot glowies that drop. So like a really good one that drops is we'll see up here off of the Old Republic facility. There is a droid there that patrols outside, and that one can drop dimly glowing liquid. That's using a lot of frequent combinations so that you can sell for, you know, a good amount of credits. And when I say good amount, it varies. Varies between a few 10,000 to like maybe even over 100,000 or a few 100,000 depending on the current demand. While we're taking this little drive, I also want to note that some of the junk loot you get on Mustafar can be used for reverse engineering, most notably the small mining tools. However, the lava tongs, the creature bone, the creature objects like bones, horns, talons, patches of hide, bottled blood, those can't be used for reverse engineering. Neither can the onyx jewelry or the decorative rock. So most of these you can just still just junk deal. But the small mining tools, if you get a big stack of them, which is easy, as a lot of NPCs seem to drop those, you can stack them up like other junk loot, sell them off to traders. Oh, there's a queen. She's taking a nap, but she looks dead. The sleeping posture for the Kubaza just looks like it's dead. Either way, we're approaching the Old Republic facility, and we have quite a few things to do here. So first things first is Fragments of the Past. We will find our last shard here, which is very convenient, and you'll see why in a moment. You'll notice there's a lot of Tanray, Zandank, and others. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's the USD class pulverizer. This is the droid. I always kill this droid when I'm up here, because I always need dimly glowing liquids. I use them for 2 recipes for luck buffs while reverse engineering. Let's see, did we get it? No, we just got normal droid junk loot. Oh well. Alright, so we found the ancient bunker for a history lesson, but we don't need to go in there quite yet. There we go. Splinters awake. All of a sudden, the now familiar vibrations of humming sounds from the crystal splinters in your backpack start again. So if we come over here to the corner, we'll see these bones and some crystal splinters. Let's click that. Done. Looking at the pieces of the crystal you've collected, it seems like you have all the ones you would need to reunite a symmetrical shard. How do you fuse crystals back together, though? And if we read the quest description, it says, you're guessing it would take a machine with an extreme heat and energy output. That machine is actually in the Old Republic facility. So it's very convenient that the last splinters we picked up actually are outside the facility. Wink. So we're going to head into there. What boss drops the Old Republic hilt? Was it the giant spider scorpion on Mustafar? Yes. So the Old Republic hilt, there are 2. There's one-handed and two-handed. Sheer Kara drops one of them. I believe she drops the one-handed. HK-47 drops the two-handed. Or I have that backwards, but it's those 2 bosses that drop the schematics. For those who don't know, the Old Republic hilt used to be best in slot for Jedi. Not so much anymore. Now you just use 5th-gen lightsabers. But the hilts do still have like 70 strength or something in them, so they're still pretty good, and they look cool. They're like gold and stuff. All right, so we were at the Old Republic facility. Let's head inside. We have 3 things to get done here. We got to get data off of the building's terminal for EPO, for the history lesson quest, part 1. We also need to find the terminal AI that we were speaking with earlier, who we've uploaded to this facility. We also need to fuse a shard. So what we're going to do is we're going to retake some buffs here. So we're in the facility. The facility's powered down, being an Old Republic facility, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to track the quest. I believe... Let's see. One of these will actually walk players through it. I believe it's actually transfer the AI. Yeah, so transfer the AI if you do have the quest to actually tell you what to do. So first we need to turn on the facility. Let's not leave the facility. What we're going to do is we're going to come in here, and then if you use the overhead map, you can see there's different paths that go here. We're going to go south, though. And we're going to turn into this room. And inside we will see the power access terminal. We're going to click that. Message from ship's AI. How disappointing. It doesn't appear that what we are looking for is here either. Terminal Delta 5 is still online, though. Access me there while I'll figure out what to do next. So that's why you need to have the transfer the AI quest before coming here. Or you can't do it because clicking on this... If you come in here first before getting this quest in the same day, you can't click on this power terminal again. If you were to do this quest, if you were to come in here, do like the history lesson part 1, leave, do transfer the AI, come back, you just have to wait until the instance timer rolls over. But you can see that the power systems are back online. The ventilation system appears to not be working, though. Computer systems must be rebooted from the computer control room in 1-XC on level 1 before the terminals can be used. So we got to reboot the terminals, and we got to fix the ventilation system if we're going to be able to navigate. But since the power's back on, we can head through this first door. And here we can see that some guards are still existent, which is ancient patrol drones. So let's take him out. Being level 84s, they're not hesitant to start a fight with us. So we're just going to destroy them all on our way down. Yes, I can call in airstrikes inside of Old Republic facility. So the nice thing about the Old Republic facility is it's fairly straightforward in which level you need to be on for most of the time. Once you finish level 1, you just want to come right down to level 2 where these yellow droids are. We're going to go this way. You can actually get through this facility just in a matter of minutes if you just sprint through here and click everything, but we're gonna take the nice scenic road here and just slay some enemies while we're here to show how difficult the enemy encounters is in here. For the most part, you can solo this facility. There's going to be 2 rooms specifically, though, where you're going to need to be very careful in if you're by yourself and if you're not buffed/geared. I'll point those out when we get there. But I'm going to try and slay everything by myself. We'll see how that goes. But if we come in here, you see the storage chest. If we radioed it and do open. Nothing's in here, but we get the update. You have found the access key card. We need that to get to another room. So let's exit this room that had the lava flea hatchlings. And then in here, we'll see this long corridor with another guard in it. So let's take out the guard. We'll head down. You see this door doesn't open, but because we have that key card, if we click on the door terminal or radial it, use access card, now it opens. So that's why we had to go get that out of the storage chest. All right, let's continue through here into the room with the other lava flea juveniles. These enemies are a little obnoxious as they have the enfeeble ability, and the enfeeble, of course, reducing your damage output. So, but in here we'll see the journal screen. If we radial that and do inspect closely, you have found a security access code. We're going to need that to be getting into other rooms. But if we come out this way, have another droid here. Peek over this way. We radio this door, use security code. We can now enter in here. We'll find some starving lava fleas. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised how they're alive at all if they've been locked in this room. Maybe there's hundreds of droids in here and they just all slowly consumed one another. Boom, baby. And then the reason we wanted to come in here is for the security station. We're going to radial it. Use override security. Then we can read the security systems. We've been granted access to room 3GS, facilities operations. And now everyone has access to one or more restricted areas, which those are downstairs. So we're going to go down there. This is a very interesting piece of model furniture that I don't think I've seen anywhere else. This like purple and gray and this weird chair. But either way, let's exit here. We still can't go through this room, though, as if we look at the core room terminal message screen, the core room is under hazard control due to the dangerous gases, which is why we need to reactivate the ventilation system on the 3rd floor, which is all the way downstairs. So we're going to have to run back in here, pop scatter. There's a little movement speed. We're going to go back into that main ramp access area, and as we go down, we're going to find stronger guards. We have ancient sentinel droids now. So we're going to take these fools out, because they will try and aggress on us anyways, so... Alright. So this area is open in here. We're going to find some Kubaza beetles hanging around. And we're going to want to defeat them. So if you've been doing fragments of the past, like I have up until this point, this is the room that you're going to need to be in to fuse it. So let me just mark that quest again really quick. If we radio the photon fusion welder and start fusion process, or just click on it, you'll see that we have to wait a couple of seconds. While we wait, let's take out some beetles. Cool. And let's click on that again. And now we say, success. The fusion process seems to have worked. The crystal is now complete and the amount of energy streaming out from it into your hands as you grab it is almost overwhelming. And we have the wild force shard placed in our inventory. That's finished Fragments of the Past, and this thing is similar to the offensive boost earlier that we received from Pawaz Ozwa, the Ithorian back in the complex, but instead of offense is defense. Again, it's a weaker version of another buff that we're going to get later, or of another buff you could get later, so we'll hold on to it, but I don't know if I'm going to use it. But after fusing that together, let's retract transfer the AI. So we can have this. We got to find Terminal Delta. Here's the ventilation system control. If we click that, we get beginning manual setup. Open the vents. Warning, vents in room 3HC. Parts and storage failed to open. The room will be under hazard control. Vents are open from the control room 3GZ. So we still need to get into a room down here because we have to reboot the facility's terminals. So let's come this way, and now we can enter this chamber, which is the chamber that was filled with toxic gas, but now we can enter. There's Terminal Delta 5 up at the second floor. We'll go speak with him later. Now we're in here. We want to enter this room, and we'll see even stronger guards back here. Level 87 elites, a little bit tougher. Not tough enough to really stop us. So if we come over here, see some more Kubaza Beetle soldiers, so let's just deal with them. Now that we've cleared out the Beetles, we can run back here. We can see Air Systems Terminal. So we open that and use open stuck vents. We can force those stuck vents open, which is parts and storage. And now we can get into parts and storage, which we need to collect an item in there. Luckily, the room is right over here. There's this one last enemy in it. So across the room, you can see a box of computer parts and the AK Prime Rocket Launcher for a collection. But if you want to run in, radio the box, pick up the parts, run out, that's totally fine. Because in this room with you is an Ancient Tulrus that's level 85. Pretty strong enemy to face against with 134,000 health. I'm going to put on... we'll put on parry power-ups. We'll go defensive, and let's take him on. He's not the strongest in this facility, though, so I'm going to save my longer cooldowns here. Oh, he has dampened pain like a lot of Tulrus have, so now he's reducing all incoming damage by quite a bit. But that's okay. With our officer stims and our self-heal, plus the defenses that I do have, we should be okay. It would have been smart to put on Breath of Heaven and drop Akaragam, but it's fine. Got a nice swift heal at the end there, which we didn't need. This Tulrus does drop specific glowing loot, namely this loot right here, the dimly glowing back ample, which is used in a few rare cube combinations. So not bad if you loot that. But if we come over here, we could actually now collect the AK Prime Rocket Launcher without getting attacked. But what we got out of that box earlier was the spare computer part. But like I showed you, you can run in, radio, grab it, run out before the Tulrus attacks you if you're not feeling up to fighting him. But we're going to run back through this core chamber, back out in the hallway. We're going to go back upstairs to floor 2, and let's go talk to our friend Delta 5, the Old Republic ship that's helping us. Oh, we still have to reboot it. Never mind. All right, we're going all the way upstairs. Never mind. All right, back up on floor 3, you can see that the droids are starting to respawn, which there's a reason why the enemies in here respawn. I'll show you when we get there. So this is the last room. There's 2 things in this room. Thing number 1. I'm going to defeat this guard. And thing number 2 is this Ancient Zandank, which is a little bit stronger than that Tulrus earlier. Just ever so a little bit stronger. So we're gonna rally point, and we're just gonna go for it. This time using some of our longer cooldowns, our macro binoculars. Got the rally point out for a little bit more dodge. This is another dangerous enemy, but similar to the Tulrus, you could run by it and interact with the object on the other end of the room if you're fast. So you don't have to fight this, but it does drop a unique glowing loot item, which we did not get, but that's okay. But over here, we'll see 2 terminals. Make computer and log access. We need to use the main terminal first to reboot computer systems. Or we have to install the parts we got from storage, then reboot the computer systems. Good. Everything's okay. And now we can access the log terminal, which says it couldn't be that easy. The log files on the computer terminal are heavily encrypted. You'll need to find some sort of decryption key to access them. It's a long shot, but maybe one of the droids has it. I'm going to give you all a pro gamer tip here. If you are a smuggler, after getting this quest update on the ancient history lesson, where you have to go find passwords from those droids, if you radio the terminal, you'll actually have a third option here called Slice Terminal, and you can bypass that part of the quest entirely. I never knew that until I did this quest with my smuggler. I just radioed it and I saw, oh wait, Slice Terminal. And I was like, this is a thing. It doesn't tell you anywhere you can do that, and that's not a thing that shows up in a lot of quest lines in the game. So it's kind of wild that you can do it here. But either way, we are not a smuggler, unfortunately. So we're going to have to go back and fight some droids until we get this password to drop, which can sometimes take an unfortunately long period of time. This depends on your luck. We got really lucky, though. We got in the first group. Your hunch was correct. Among the remains of the old security droid, you find what you're looking for. Now let's just hope it's the right one. Head back to the computer terminal. The right key? At last, the key works, and you break the encryption on the log files. Unfortunately, most of the data is damaged beyond repair, but some information is intact, and you quickly download it to a data disk. Head back to Epo Quatora. We will, but first we need to go speak to our Terminal Delta 5 buddy. So let's run back down to the second floor. We're back with our buddy Terminal Delta 5. I think I like being a facility even less than being a starship. This place doesn't even have blasters. I am not sure how these computers stand it. Did you manage to find the information I need? Answer, no. I had a search through this facility's memory bank showed that they were cleaned out some time ago. They must have been taken to the droid factory. What droid factory? The one that was built by those Demodians several years ago. Seriously, how does anything stand this? I feel so empty inside. It's okay. Can you tell me about the droid factory? Answer, it was built a little more than 20 years ago. It is currently offline, and all the information that you are searching for is located there. All right, so what should I do now? You should walk your little legs down to the factory and turn it on. The relay from this station is operational. If the droid factory is online, I can swing down there. Do you think that factory will have blasters? I doubt it. Most architects think that blasters are not aesthetically pleasing. Thank you. I will make a note to deal with the architects first. What does that mean? I am sorry, I shouldn't have spoken out like that. I really think you should go down to the droid factory and turn it on so I can recover the information you requested. It is located a few clicks to the south. All right, are you sure the information is there? Answer, of course it is there. I am sorry that I led you astray for the first time, but I didn't know that those Nemodians built a droid factory. I really hope I get a chance to thank them in person. The Nemodians left here a long time ago. That makes me very sad. Maybe I will visit their homeworld someday. Then I will be very happy. Okay. To the south, you say? And it says, answer, that is correct. The droid factory is located to the south of here. Once it's activated, I will transfer myself into it. And we got the badge for Mustafar Control, Old Republic Seeker. I believe that's just for activating this facility or something. You have activated the Old Republic facility. Wow. Okay, well, we are done inside the Old Republic facility, so I'm just going to run to the exit door and leave. You can likely just use the eject command that I showed you earlier, but meh. We'll just run out of this one. I got shot in the butt. Back outside. Oh, look, it's my friend. USD class pulverizer. Do you have some liquid for me, sir? Sir and or individual? Kubaza Queen wants some. Yeah, there it is. Dimly glowing liquid. That's money. I mean, I'm keeping it for myself, but if you looted this is a good item to sell if you have no use for it. Alright, so now that we're done in the Old Republic facility, we're going to go back, and we're going to go down to the Secret Vault. That's the quest that we got off of that tablet earlier. Alright, so here we are at the Secret Vault. Again, we got this from the tablet over by the Storm Orb. Disabling security. Step 1. This is indeed the vault here. The first thing to do, according to the tablet, is to turn the left dial to the number 8. So here's the left dial. If we radial it, we can do turn to 8. Click the saber symbol on the holocron. That was all the help you get out of the tablet. There's 2 levers on the wall. Which one you pull is up to you. I'm gonna pull the left one. As you force the lever down, sounds of squealing mechanics and electronics coming to life is heard from inside. Oh no, I'm getting attacked by the Vault Guardian. The Guardian droid, level 78. Something more. As you lay the ancient machine to rest, you notice a glimmer among its remains of something. As you bend down to look at it, you can see that it's a small ornamented box. Inside it is a strange glowing crystal and a holodisc with a message recorded. As you play the message, the blue hollow image of an elderly woman in a robe appears and starts to speak. This schematic seems to describe part of a doomsday device. I don't have time to investigate it further or try to find schematics for the rest of the machine, as my former Padawan is already here. I feel that he's beyond redemption, and that his power might actually exceed my own at this point. To avoid it ending up in the wrong hands, I will secure the schematic in this old vault, guarded by a droid. To you, the finder of the schematic, I urge you to travel to the Jedi Council on Coruscant and trust the masters there with it and this disc. It is strange. Last night I had a dream of a situation so similar to mine, a master facing down a student on this very world. It seems so real, so strong. Perhaps if I survive, Master Yoda will have an explanation. He is newly raised to the rank of master, but still seems to have wisdom well beyond his years. The message is on a loop and keeps playing until you turn it off. And you get the schematic for a modified fusion reactor, which is a ship part. It makes a ship part. The schematic doesn't sell for very much. It's not a very meta reactor, but there you go. I don't think I can pull the other lever. No. All right. So let's go turn in the strike. Back at the miners' camp. So let's head back over that way. Okay, while we're at this mining camp, I want to interact with the chemical locker while we're here, which I might be down here. Yes. All right, so we got to go get one more, which there's another mining camp that we can get to. But speaking to Foreman Nufra Lazob, well, look who's back. Decided to give up? Nope, here are your eggs. Whoa, you actually did it? I was kidding. No one is foolish enough to go out there and try to steal eggs from the Tulrus. What is the matter with you? Hey, you said if I got the eggs, you would go back to the talks. It's like I did say that in the deal's deal. This really didn't turn out the way I expected. Fine, you can tell Urup that we'll come back to the negotiations, but I'm not promising anything beyond that. You have guts, I'll give you that much. And he has nothing else to say to us. We already did your thing. You're the Zandank. Hold on, we gotta beat up Vokar Duist. My man, you got batteries for me today, Chief? Trying to do without killing all the other miners. Battery? Battery, my guy. Alright, well, happily getting another battery. We're gonna have to go back to the mining facility, and we have a lot of quests to turn in, so let's head that way. Okay, we're back at the mining facility, and we got a couple people we want to speak to here. How did your talks with Nufra go? I managed to convince him to return to the talks with you. That is most excellent news. Hopefully we can hammer out a deal that both parties will be satisfied with. Please accept this as a token of the company's appreciation for what you've done. Thank you, my friend. So we got 10,000 credits. We got the Mustafar mining suit. Not real my aesthetics. It only gives you 3 agility. But yeah, there's that. I do believe if you wear it, you get a buff. I don't think it's a very significant buff, so we're not going to worry about it. That is not a required quest for Fate of the Galaxy. You just did it to do it. But we'll go turn in a history lesson, part 1. This is something that I want to emphasize. The history lesson has two parts, part 1 and part 2. You have to do both parts to unlock Fate of the Galaxy. A lot of people seem to miss that, and they only do part 1 and they don't talk to Epo again. So let's talk to Epo. It says, Vum, you're back. How did everything go? There wasn't much I had left intact, but I got what I could. Let me have a look at that, please. Oh, this is very interesting. I wish there was more, but it's all that was left, you say. Too bad, but at least this gives me some clues and shows that I'm on the right track. I'm most grateful, my friend. Don't mention it. I'm glad that is some help. It very much is. Now for your reward. Let's see. Where did I put that thing? You can keep this disc, by the way. I have already copied it down on my datapad. Ah, here it is. This helmet should be useful for someone in your line of work. What type of armor would you like it to be modified for? This helmet's doo-doo caca. It doesn't matter. Let's just take the assault to be consistent. Certainly, here we go. All yours. Very nice. It was a pleasure working with you, Epo. Pleasure was all mine, Vum. If you find something else to do, come back and see me. I've got another lead I need help with. So that's the key, but, you know, I understand people don't always read the quest giver NPCs. Outside of this series, I never read what they're saying, really. But we speak with Epo again. He says, great to see you again, Vum. I could use your assistance again if you have some spare time. These are interesting. I was hoping you would say that. How can I help? Why else would I be here? Your charming personality. I'm sorry, Epo. Just stopped by to say hi. I have a lot to do. For you, I have about 10 seconds, and they just ran out. 2 are no, being a jerk. One's yes, being a jerk, and one's just fine. So, while you were up retrieving the data log from that old bunker for me, I was out doing a bit of exploring of my own. To the northeast of us, but south of the bunker you ventured to, I came across some old buildings of unknown origin. Among them, I found this, a piece of an old tablet with some writing on it. Unfortunately, it's been shattered, and this is but a small piece of the puzzle, so to speak. Did you try to find the other pieces? Indeed I did, but as I was looking around, I noticed I was no longer alone. I spotted some skulking figures moving around the area, also apparently searching for something. I didn't like the way that they looked, and sneaked off before they could spot me. It's my hope that you could return there and see if you can find the other pieces of the tablet. Probably just some scavengers, shouldn't be a problem. For you, I'm sure not. Please be careful still, though. They might be more than meets the eye. Don't worry, I will be. Good, I hope you can find the pieces. If the rest are about the same size as this one, my guess is there will be 4 of them out there. Alright, so that's part 2. We're still not done talking to people here, though. Alright, back with Chief Ulan Glost. He goes, you don't know how much better all the men feel. Thank you for taking down that rogue Tulrus. The company has authorized me to issue this reward for your service. Thank you again, my friend, which we get 5,000 credits, and we get a mounted Tulrus spine, which is a pretty cool decorative item to put in your house. As for the targeting helmet, it gives you pretty wimpy protection stats, and it gives you a buff called targeting assistance, which isn't terribly useful. What we're going to do is we're going to head out of the mining facility back down to the camp where we delivered supplies to previously, and we're going to grab some of the preservatives there. Okay, we're back in the mining camp where we originally delivered some supplies to, as I need to go to the chemical locker and take some preservatives out of that one. Boom. So that's all that we need for preservatives as far as of rug materials. We just have to defeat 10 Blissmox and get pristine hides from them now. Since I'm down here near the Chugan Dar Cube ruins, I want to find the marker that's around here, because I don't have to try back to it. Chugan Dar Ruins marker. These ruins date back to well into the earliest days of the Old Republic. Some experts date them from before the time of the First Sith War. Certain experts believe that this ruin was the laboratory of the great Jedi Master Chugan Dar, an expert at using the Force to manipulate physical objects. That's a marker that I forgot about earlier. Forgot about a lot of markers. We'll clean them up later. Alright, we're back at the Stormlord's ruins. And so we have 4 tablet pieces to find here. First thing is we got to come over here. I believe I have to get a waypoint to... Maybe I just have to talk to Scar. Which, by the way, check out their model again. They got some cool, like, face tats and vein stuff going on. Oh, I think I talked to him too soon. Am I supposed to kill him? Tablet. And the robes of the slain woman you find on the tablet. Okay, yeah, cool. That was right. I like how they weren't very hostile, but they were death incarnate. Maybe they were meditating or something. Okay, so we defeated Scar for one tablet. Let's go over to this another tower right here. And we go up the hill. We'll find some minions hanging out. Let's get rid of them. Heading up the stairs, we see a zealot vibing in here. And on the ground, we'll see some remains. If we click on those remains, you find another tablet piece. Wow. Amazing. Trying to cross off these waypoints as we get them. So the next ones we'll find off of a random scavenger down here at this camp. So we just got to knock scavengers until they drop the tablet piece. Oh, that was lucky. Got him on their first one. In the scavenger's backpack, you find one of the tablet pieces. Wow. And then the last one is, if you remember that camp that I fought some zealots at and everything got pissed off at me simultaneously, that's where we got to go to next. But if we head over here, we'll see on the ground a pile of rocks. We're going to click it. Among the rubble, you find one of the tablet pieces. Cool, but everything here still wants to kill me. Cool. So that's the end of the history lesson part 2. We got to go back to Epo and talk to them to turn it in, though. But before we go, we got to go take down the Stormlord ourselves. As earlier we were just helping another player, but now that we're at that point of the quest, we got to do it. Which looks like there's more players here already. I can't tell if they were helping me or what. I think they need a shattered conduit. Yeah. Yeah, I was making sure. I was like, wait. They're doing Fate of the Galaxy, which we'll be doing later. Alright, so now that we defeated the Stormlord, we gotta go back. Oh yeah, the Lordess we got earlier from Epo just has... The enemy is at our gates. My men have fought valiantly alongside the Jedi, but our losses are terrible. The Jedi claimed they have a plan to turn the tide, but I don't know if I can trust them. Major Fune Hugh. Wow. Amazing. Such deep lore. We're back with Geralt, though. You did it. Talpur is already feeling better. He's still extremely weak, and it will take him a while to recover, but I can tell that he's going to make it. You are very brave to help us out like this. Think nothing of it. And that's Sickness of the Stormlord complete. We get the Mustafar and Ejector. Yay. Cool. Okay. Let's go back and turn in History Lesson Part 2. Alright, we are back here with Epo. It says, Bum, please tell me you had some luck. I've had nothing but misfortune lately. Sorry to hear that. Yes, I do believe I have all the pieces. You know that you know how to make an old man happy, my friend. Let me have a look. Yes, this is perfect. That's all of them. Very interesting. I will get you a copy of the translated text. Give me a minute. Thanks. I'm curious what it will say. I bet after all the trouble you've been through, all the translated text is done as well. Another job well done, my friend. I wouldn't have gotten anywhere without you, and I'm most grateful. Now for your reward. I've come across a stash of weapons. I was wondering if you would have a preference, a rifle, carbine, or pistol. Let's go with... the carbine's cool. Not a problem. Here you go. I would have gotten you... I wouldn't have gotten anywhere with you. I'm most grateful. You already said that, but thank you for everything. It's been very interesting. Glad to hear that, Vum. Well, I'm afraid that this concludes our business for now. Take care of yourself, and thanks again. And we open our inventory. We have the so far Republic Carbine. And again, if you like this weapon skin, there is a schematic for it. So this carbine itself isn't super great, but you can have a weapon skin of it. That is, it does have the acid shock attack. Wow. And then the other lore text just said, the crystal powered by my fellow knights is functioning just as intended. The Sith are all but powerless, and victory is within our grasp. I'm concerned about the cracks that I've spotted in the crystal structure, though. Okay, so that is the last of the Fate of the Galaxy prerequisites. So what we're going to do is we're going to head up and out of the facility as we have a meeting with a VIP of sorts. After you finish the last prerequisite quest for Fate of the Galaxy, you gotta wait for someone to show up, so I'm just gonna drive over this way, actually. You could actually stay at the facility and wait for him to show up. There's also a place to trigger him. That's actually probably where I should be going, but let's see if we can get him to just appear for us. This looks like a good spot. Oh, there he is. Alright, so the ethereal spirit has made himself known to us. He says, I'm in dire need of your assistance, Fum. I've been watching you for some time, hoping that you would be the one I can trust with this difficult task. I can ask, who are you, or what are you? I'll go, who are you? Who I am is not of any importance. What I need help with, or on the other hand, may affect the future of the entire galaxy. I like to know who I'm doing favors for. I just told you the entire galaxy. Very well, you can call me Ben. Now can I go on? Fine, what is it that you need help with? Ben. I'm not sure how much of this planet's history you uncovered, but I'll tell you what I know. Thousands of years ago, long before long before my time, there was a large chapter of Jedi Knights located here. The planet was the center of Jedi information and artifacts which attracted the vicious Sith. As I suspected. The Jedi of Mustafar uncovered a magnificent crystal of unknown origin. It was as tall as a tower, and the Jedi quickly discovered that it was attuned to the Force within them. When news of an impending Sith invasion reached them, they desperately began to experiment with the crystal, hoping to find a way to use it in their defense. And I reply, I can see where this is going. Yes, I'm sure that you can piece it together by now, but let me go on. The Jedi behaved could channel their powers through the crystal and dampen the Sith's powers while strengthening their own. As the Sith's warships pierced the atmosphere, the Jedi Masters began channeling the Force through the crystal while the younger Jedi led the troops in battle. But everything didn't go as planned, did it? Indeed, it didn't. At first, it worked perfectly. The Sith could barely use their powers at all, while the young Jedi in the field could wield more power than ever. But they hadn't had the time to do enough research on the crystal and its limits, and the battle went on. It began to crack. Close to victory, the Jedi could have stopped using it and would have still won the battle, but they didn't. No, and I'm not sure why. Some believe that the Sith Lord, facing certain defeats, somehow corrupted the vulnerable Jedi Masters as they were channeling. The result was catastrophic. When the crystal exploded, it sent the planet itself out of its orbit and wiped out all of the Sith and Jedi, all but one, that is. The Sith Lord, I assume? No. Why would you assume that? Well, he must have been very powerful, corrupting the Jedi Masters. True, but when it comes to preserving life, the dark side of the Force will always be weak. Well, I wouldn't know, so who survived then? The Elder of the Masters, Urg Crow. As the crystal exploded, he managed to shield himself from some of the destruction. Clinging on to life, he found a large shard of the crystal in front of the dead Masters. Very interesting. Sensing that this large shard still had tremendous power, he dragged it with him into hiding. He then spent his remaining energy using the Force to put a protective shield around it to make sure that no other Force wielder could sense its presence. Unfortunately, Crowd, dying from his injuries, wasn't as strong as he had once been, and the power of the shield has diminished after several thousand years. Yes? Can I help you? I already have. But the forces of evil are swiftly closing in to claim it. You have seen some of them yourself. That is why we must act quickly. We can't let it fall into their hands. I agree. So where is it? Let's go get it right away. I wish it was that simple. Even though the shielding is all but gone, Crow made sure that it wouldn't be easy to gain access. He made the entrance only passable by someone with great force powers, and since you don't have that, we have to cheat. Sounds good. What's the plan? There's a shard of the crystal that has an unusually active soul of a Jedi trapped inside it. I'm fairly certain that we can use that shard as a key to gain entrance to the Crow's chamber. Fairly certain? What if it doesn't work and someone tries to take my crystal? Takes my crystal. Your crystal? We are not going in there to take it. We are going to destroy it. Why? That is what Crow should have done in the first place. I think it's supposed to be Crow. I think that some of the Sith's taint had touched him, and that's why he couldn't. Yeah? Got some Jedi Master had some Sith taint rubbed up on him? The crystal is much too powerful to be entrusted to anyone. No one is immune to this corruption of the dark side, trust me. But, fine. So where do we find the key? That is the tricky part. It's currently in the possession of a crazed Mustafarian. I'm not sure what's driven him to insanity, but he's become a hermit, wandering the scorched lands erratically, making him hard to track, even for me. You need to find him. How? Just start running around, hoping I bump into him? Amusing, but no. I have a plan. The Mustafarian survey droids scour the planet constantly, trying to find new resources. If you can gain access to their computer network, you might be able to find an approximate location of where the hermit was last spotted. I don't think the Mustafarians will let me use their network. Probably not, but I'm sure you can find a way. Now I have urgent matters to take care of. I will see you again, Vum. Please be swift in solving this. We are rapidly running out of time. If you need my assistance, go to the northeastern shoreline between the old and new mining facilities, and I will try to answer your call. What could possibly be more important than helping with this? The forces of evil are marching rapidly, Vum, and this old man needs to put a wrench in their cogs before it's too late. Farewell for now. Okay, so we gotta go back to the facility. And we gotta borrow their computers. So we're back in the mining facility, running up basically down to if we were gonna go to the cantina. But once we get to that main area, we're gonna look to our left immediately, and we're going to go into one of the what looks to be like storage rooms. But one of them is gonna have a mining terminal in it. Right here, but we'll see that a computer technician's kind of cock-blocking us. He says, "What are you doing here?" "I need to access your computer for a bit." "Say what? Who are you?" "Who I am is not important. Now I need to borrow your computer." That works for Force guests, but not for non-Force guests. He says, "You are doing no such thing. They're not even supposed to be here. Either I use your computer or you end up in the med facility." "Please, this is preposterous. What is it you intend to do with it?" "I'm looking for someone out in the lava fields." "Very well, but I'm staying to make sure you don't break anything." "Of course, but get in my way and I will break something." "That's not funny. Please hurry up so I can get back to work." We're gonna go to the computer terminal here. Click it. All right. Click it. And now we have our target acquired. Oh yeah, what does the computer technician say if I talk to him again? Oh, he just says, "Do I look like I'm here to chat? I have a job to do." Whatever. All right, we're gonna go back out into the Crystal Flats, and we're gonna go chase down that miner, or that roaming Mustafarian. Didn't say they were a miner. We found the Crystal Flats fields marker. It says, like of most of Mustafar, the crystal fields reform relatively quickly. The sudden shift in the moon's orbit is causing the world to tear itself apart. This has made many geologic formations like the crystal fields that normally take millions of years to form on other worlds to spread out virtually overnight. So we're gonna hop off, and we're gonna yeah, why not? We'll take attack. And we're gonna wander over here. I'm gonna throw my sword at this Blissmock. No one around. Search the nearby area. Maybe he hasn't made it too far. Attacked. All of a sudden, you hear a bone-chilling wail of two fierce-looking Blissmocks coming charging at you. Not Blissmocks. Oh no. There we go. There's the crazed hermit. Speak to him. "Did you hurt those beautiful animals?" "I was forced to. They were trying to kill me." I think Vum in character be like, "Beautiful, whatever. I'm not here to talk about critters." "Talk? Talk's all you ever do. Go there, go here, do that. What are you babbling about? I need something you have. Everyone wants something. You want the gem. They all do. They don't know, though. They don't understand. Yes, I want the gem, and you will give it to me, or you might get hurt." "No pain. I don't need more pain. Do you need pain?" "No, what am I saying? We can just walk away. Always walk away." "You're not going anywhere. Now hand over the crystal." He goes, "No, you kneel before me and accept what's coming your way. This is your final moment. Welcome it with grace." As he summons more Blissmocks. I wish I could summon Blissmocks, multiple, plural. Crazer says, "No more fun left. They are quiet now. Finally quiet." I can say, "Please, I implore you, give me the crystal. It's hurting you," or "Yes, and you will join them unless you hand it over to me over that gem." I'm going to go with the first one. He says, "Shh, I'm tired of all. Please no more. I can't take any more. I can help you. Just let me hold the gem for a second." "Yes, that might be it, but no, I can't. He won't let me. He's mine and I'm his. You don't need him anymore. You can surely be free. I can stop your torment. Give me the gem and it will go away." I'll do that one. He goes, "Yes, maybe you're right. Maybe he's right. No, he's tricking you." Only I can make the sounds go away. Now kill him, kill him. So I just kill him, take the thing. Boom, the forces of evil are closing in. You are our only hope. Speak to him. Oh, he spawned multiple times. Double face Obi-Wan. Oh, shit. He says, good, you have the key. We are ready to proceed, Vom. Good. Thing is strange. I don't like it at all. Yes, the Jedi trapped within is clearly in great pain, and he must have been what drove the poor Mustafarian insane. I will try to come up with a way to help free him later, but right now we have more pressing matters. I wish you hadn't killed the Mustafarian, though. He was as much a victim as the Jedi in the crystal, and if it had been spared, he could have been help in saving the Jedi. I had no choice, but he put the crazy fool out of his misery. I was trying to avoid it, but I couldn't save him. That one. I understand. Sometimes violence is the only outcome, my friend. At least you did your best. Now let's focus on the task at hand. Yes, I would like to get rid of the crystal sooner rather than later. Yes, time is against us in more ways than one. A great evil has arrived, and it's quickly making its way over to this chamber. Not only that, but your actions have drawn the attention of its minions, and I fear that they are closing on you as we speak. I'll be as fast as I can. What do I do next? It's dangerous, but we need to forge a stronger bond between you and the crystal. That would probably happen over time if you kept it, but we can't wait. On this planet, there are 3 old enclaves, remains of the Jedi temples. At each one of these, there is a conduit that was used to link the enclaves together. I'm not sure I like this. I know, my friend, but we have no choice. You will have to go to each of these 3 conduits, wedge the crystal into it, and wait while the power channels through it. The first enclave is located in the northwest corner of the continent. The second is just west of the central volcano, and the final one is straight east of the same volcano, all the way on the edge of the continent. Very well, I'll be on my way immediately. Be careful, my friend. These are dangerous times indeed. May the Force be with you. So if we retrack Fate of the Galaxy, we have Fate of the Galaxy Part 2. So this part is going to have us going to 3 conduits that are around the map. The first one's actually pretty close by, so we're just going to drive over to that one. But the first one's here. Then we have another one up here in the northwest corner. And then we have one over on the eastern side of the map, back where the Stormlord was. So we'll do this one first. We'll basically go west, northwest, then east. All right, we're back at the Black Guard camp where we slew Vansk previously. But here's the Shattered Conduit. We're going to go up, wait, click on it. Jedi Conduit. So now we have to wait for about, this one's a little over a minute. Some will take longer than others. And basically we're going to get ambushed over this time by the enemy faction that's also pursuing this relic and who's in service to this other force that we're dealing with. So we're just going to stand here and chill. I believe we'll have to fight one wave of enemies. You will need to remove the crystal from the Shattered Conduit. So you don't want to, like, leave this area. Just basically sit here and hang out. If you want to go, like, fight some Blackguard where you're standing here, totally can. If you want to stare at the cheese, you can. Wow. That's some bubbling hot cheese. I had some pizza earlier. It was good. These guys are really taking their time. Come on, I'm right here. Come on, do it. Kill me. There they are. Brotherhood Mortalis Mercenary. Only one, though. Oh, we got a Blissmok heart, which gives us a quest to slay Blissmok, which apparently is 25. But we're going to click on the Shattered Conduit and get the crystal back for Fate of the Galaxy Part 2. And now we're going to go to the northwest location, which we actually haven't been there yet, so will be something new to look at. Okay, so we are at the 3rd conduit. It is our 2nd, though, but it's considered the 3rd, I suppose. But before we go up there, I want to come down here, and I want to introduce a named NPC to everybody who may not know him. His name is Captain Relgan Starkill, very edgy name. But he drops a unique piece of dimly glowing loot called the Magnite Cleaner, and among some other things. But we want to defeat him to see if we can get some of that. Because that's a useful glowing object, and he'd be part of my normal loop here. But let's see, let's get rid of some of these Razor Runners. The Razor Runners also drop some glowing loot that is useful. I believe they drop the faintly glowing document, which I use frequently in a luck buff combination. Not rare, mind you. Just have to come out, beat him up for a little bit, and you'll get a couple. But we come over to him. We'll beat him up, see if he gives us anything good. And we got it. Actually, so this is the dimly glowing Magnite Cleaner. This is the 3rd in the combination of 2 dimly glowing batteries and a cleaner combo to make the one of the lava cannon combos, I believe. Well, that's not what we're using it for, but I figure we're here, might as well get it. He can drop a few other things, like if you get, he'll drop like some chest piece armor that you can junk deal for like 25k. But we're gonna come all the way up to the top, and we're gonna see some Razor Runners. We're gonna click the Shattered Conduit immediately to start that 4-minute timer, and while it clicks down, or ticks down, we're gonna defeat some of these Razor Runners. Because why not? We're killing time anyways. I activated my Slink Stem on accident, oopsie poopsie. Oh yeah, we're gonna defeat Commander Hellraiser here. Which, by the way, he drops this item, the dimly glowing bottle, which is a good one to drop. I believe he also can drop a variant of armor, but... we have to wait here. Oh, you can see got a few enemies who spawn on us. These are more Brotherhood of Mortalis mercenaries, so let's take them out, shall we? They're a little bit awkward because they spawn on this hillside. You can see that they have force powers. So they're firing guns, but they're also doing stuff like force choke and lightning on me and such. Strange, isn't it? I wish the combat challenge was higher or this timer was shorter. It reminds me of Urwatu's Arena, but I kind of cut Urwatu some slack because it was developed like CU era, so like the challenge rating was completely different, yada yada yada, but and like the just overall pace of combat was different. But this one was developed a little bit later. So I'm not gonna give it the same slack. 10 seconds left. Here we go. 7, 6. Yeah, we only got ambushed once, but it was 3 NPCs instead of 1. So I'm gonna guess that the Enclave they spawned 2 instead of 1 or 3. But we'll grab that, and we will head over to the last one now. All right, so we're back at the Stormlord compound one last time to see if we can't get the last of the conduits. This one is my least favorite conduit, not because it's up in the Stormlord camp, but it gets a little silly because of the surrounding walls. Enemies like to spawn on the other side. Sometimes when the ethereal spirit will show up, he won't properly be able to find you, and he'll just be standing on, like, he'll like get stuck in a wall or something. That's why I'm waiting to kill time. Might as well kill guards. I always kind of wondered why all the guards end up looking like this guy. Oh, hey. You guys actually spawned on me correctly this time. Amazing. Yep, there's 2 of them. Alright, so each conduit doesn't have more waves. It's just the waves are increased by the order of 1. I could defeat the Stormlord again for some more loot, but I'm going to leave him just in case someone rolls up literally right after I leave. He hasn't really been dropping that good. Alright, everyone, it's time to take bets. Do you think the ethereal spirit's going to spawn in a wall where I can't talk to him? Haha. We'll find out. If he ever does spawn in a place where you can't talk to him, where he doesn't seem to appear for you, the area that he's talking about where you can go speak with him is right down here. So if you like leave the mining facility, go east to the opposite shoreline, there's a little holocron there that you can click on and summon him. But that's down, let's click that. Spirit's probably going to show up again in a second. There he is on the other side of the wall. Looking over the fence like a home improvement character. It says everything is set. And he spawned multiple times again. Everything is set, Vum. How... Now you need to make it to the hidden chamber quickly. Where is it? North of the central volcano is what's called the Burning Plains. In the northeast corner of the plains, you will find the entrance of the chamber. I can't come with you, but we'll meet you there. The minions of the dark are closing in on you, and I will try to throw them off track. Don't worry, I won't let them get the crystal. Hope you're right. May this force be with you, Vum. You will need it. Okay, so we're going to race up to the northern part of the Burning Plains, where if you zoom in on the map, you see this like little temple with a door at the end of it. Yeah, that's where the door to the temple is. I don't know why they literally drew it like a icon on a Doom map in between level stages, but that's how they that's how they depicted it, which is hilarious to me. So I'm driving over here so I can call my ITV. Let's go to the central volcano. It's a little bit shorter of a distance than driving all the way over there. Getting around Mustafar is not too bad with ITVs. But yeah, if you're driving, even if you have a lava vehicle, having to drive like around mountains all the time or just around Tulrus Isle sucks. But I've done enough on Mustafar where I'm just like, yeah, okay, if I'm going to spend a lot of time with Mustafar, I'm just going to be slamming down travel points so I can get A to B faster. I know not everybody has to travel vehicles to log locations, but I showed how to get the Secrets of the Siren one, so y'all might at least have one. With 3, and 3 locations is a lot, so. You can also store a location at like a travel house, like the one that I've been using on stream. And then a lot of them will have locations like the middle of the Burning Plains, Kubaza Beetle, Droid Factory, etc., and that helps getting around a little faster. But as we can see, we're coming up on the ruins. Oh my goodness, it's Malfosa. I almost drove right into her. I don't need to fight Malfosa today. Oh yeah, there's the Brotherhood Mortalis trying to kill me. We got the warmly glowing poison gland. We'll leave that for someone else. I don't need to snipe that from somebody. But as we come upon these ruins, we'll see that there are a lot of NPCs here, specifically frenzied treasure hunters. I mean, they dropped stuff. This is my man, though. Shambler, what's good, homie? He's my best friend. And by that, I mean, you're going to give me some good glowy loot, right? He drops a couple of good things. He gave us the faintly glowing small crate, which is a useful one. The booster's a little bit more useful. But crate's so good. Also, while we're here, we can see that there is a collection item over here. We have to cut through some hunters to get the Nullifier X. So let's hit some treasure hunters on the way. Trying to thin their numbers because once I try and click that, collection object, they're all going to want to try and kill me. So might as well just kill them first. Careful, there are a lot of enemies here, so if you're not buffed up, that's kind of a dangerous thing to do. So we come over here, let's see if we can click on the Nullifier X. Which, it's a pretty cool weapon skin. It looks like a stretched out revolver. The smuggler pistol collection you're thinking of is the contraband collection. And the miners that you're thinking about is that the salvage bandits here, they'll drop a component, and then down here in the southwest, they'll drop another piece of that from the contraband collection. And that's what gives you the schematic for the DD6 pistol. Not more Brotherhood members. Hold on, Obi-Wan. I'm getting assassinated. Oh, speaking of accidentally switched to my carbine. Stop using force powers on me, nerds. Okay, so here's the ethereal spirit again. Okay, he left because he was tired of my shit. Can I still get... Oh, wait, there he is. Had to just walk back and re-trigger him. Finally, our quest is almost complete, Vum. I'm glad to see you made it, Vum. Let me explain how to do this. What happened to you slowing down these guys? There's too many of them, and they are closing in too fast. We have to get inside now. Fine, how do I get inside? Shut up. Did you hear that? It's the crystal. It's playing tricks with your mind. Wedge it into one of the cracks. When I read wedge, I thought I was going to say Antilles. Wedge it into the cracks on the pillar, and then place your hands on it and focus transferring yourself inside. This better work. I believe it will, Vum. Now hurry. We just need to click the sealed door. More people would come and make some lightning and lightning mods for Galaxies. There's a pretty good amount, but yeah. I gotta get your feel. Updating it graphically would be cool. But here we are. We're inside the temple. Got some cool statues of Jedi and Sith, I guess, walking inside. These statues have a bunch of different colors of sabers they're holding. I wonder if you can get the different colored saber statues. I know you can get the statue. I just don't know if you can get like every color like this. But in here, you can see we're in a cool Honestly, it's just a part of the Geonosian cave cutout, but whatever. Here's the ethereal spirit. Says, this is it, Vum. This is what we worked so hard to reach. Although it looks harmless, it's very powerful. Unfortunately, it's consumed by the dark side of the force, and we must destroy it. Here's Lord Vartonis, the man in the shadows, has been stalking us this whole time. Vum, step away from the crystal. It's mine. This area is probably seen part of Misty. I don't know, man. Southwest corner of the map might be it. No quests take you down there, and unless you're farming that contraband collection, there's no reason to go down there. Lord Vartonis continues to say, "You bore me, Vum. Brothers Mortalis, remove this nuisance and earn your pay." And then he runs back for some reason, and then we're just gonna kill this guy. I can't progress these dialogues any faster, by the way. We just gotta wait for the script to play out. Lord Vartonis says, "Haha, you can't defeat me, Vum. The power of the dark side grants me beyond you. Steady yourself, Vum. You can't fall." Oh, and then a bunch of Mortalis brothers come in. Thought we were going to start round one. Lord Vartonis runs back in. Says, "So you defeated those worthless mercs, Vum. Very well, I will destroy you myself. Your pathetic powers are no match for me." And so, here we go. And the ethereal spirit says, "Beware, Vum. This dark Jedi's powers is significant. Although I had hoped to avoid it, you have no choice but the power of the crystal to be able to defeat him." Lord Vartonis goes, "Haha, Vum. You're no match for the power of the dark side. I will crush you. Your ash and shadow on the ground will leave a mark on this world." Oh no! So you see, he hit pretty hard there. But as soon as he hit the crystal, it's fine. He has 155,000 health, and his stats are super boosted. And he's level 110, but the crystal buff that we get... Corner of the Force, you feel intense rage as the power rips through your body. Healing is increased by 100%. Your health is increased by 90,000 points. You have a damage output modifier of 350%. You reduce damage taken by 85%. And your chance to receive glancing blows is 100%. So basically, just lets you cheat. And Lord Vartonis said, "Just die already." Your spirit's trailing around, saying, "You're everything I expected you to be. You can't fail, Vum. It would be catastrophic." And then this guy's like, "Useless lurk saves me. Destroy Vum before it's too late." He's like, "Those useless fools. I cannot fail this close to my destiny. I will defeat you, Vum. Prepare to meet your maker." Imagine taking the buff into PvP. Yeah, right. So he's healed to full. Still 155. To give you an idea of how strong this buff is, it lets you do this as a crafter. Because you can't bring friends in here. You have to go in solo. But what you do is I just bring a droid in here, have it attack, and then I just take Lord of Vartonis and kite him around the room. He's dead! And he drops the lava skiff deed. And, cool. Their spirit says, "Well done. Remember, Vum, the dark side isn't stronger, only more attractive. I never doubted you, Vum. It's time to end this, Vum. You must destroy the crystal. If anyone were to try and use it, even with the best intentions, its taint of the dark side is so strong that it would corrupt anyone or anything it comes across." All right, so this is where we get a choice. If we go to the crystal and we radial it, we can destroy the crystal or we can keep it. If you keep it, it gives you offensive buff that does a ton of damage. Not as strong as what happens in here, but pretty strong. And if you destroy it, Obi-Wan will allow you to... He'll give you the Shard of Retaliation, which is a defensive buff. We're gonna keep it. I want the damage. And the spirit shames us, saying, "I'm disappointed, Vum. The lure of the dark side proved too much for you. With the limited training I provided, and so I have failed. Maybe I'm the one to blame it again. It's for your own good, Vum, but in the end, it's for the good of the galaxy." So what he's gonna do is he's gonna try and siphon as much power from it as he can to make sure that I can't leave with this as it is. Oh no. He's not letting us keep it, guys. Rude. That would have made my solo ISD run so much faster. And then he says, the pain is excruciating. Now take the blasted thing and leave me with my thoughts. Okay, bye. Trials obi-wan the betrayer. But now we have the layer crystal. Yay. Which is a really good buff. Yay. So we're going to exit. So to prevent players from walking out of here, the devs have implemented something that has an unfortunate side effect. It just wipes all the buffs you have. So, yeah, if you want to keep your entertainer buff, you're gonna want to do this last on your list of your quests for the day. But that's it. That's Fate of the Galaxy. Yeah, getting the ISD buff before PvP was definitely a thing. And yeah, you can sell the layer crystal for a couple mil. Okay, so we're done. We have the layer crystal, which I'm keeping. What I'll do is I'm not gonna go get an int buff again, but I'll go fix my meds, and then we'll go try and clean out this journal here. But I do need to fight some things to finish some quests, so I like to at least have my meds. All right, so what we're doing now is now that we've completed some of the main quests, we're just gonna try and clean up these side quests that I have, minus the group content, as I'm gonna wait for my buddy Griffin Striker to do that. All right, so here's the main flow marker. Central volcano, main lava flow. The central flow of the volcano deposits close to 20,000 gallons of lava per second into the lava pools below. Unfortunately, this volcano's deposits are rather poor in usable resources. This is why the majority of the mining operations are located on higher grounds to the south. I thought you need to do the marker quest before Fate of the Galaxy. No, you don't. The marker quest, all the quests that I have left in my journal, you do not need to do, obviously, before Fate of the Galaxy. And I even completed some before Fate of the Galaxy that I didn't need to do. Kubaza Beetle Cavern. This cavern was originally built by the Separatists during the evacuation of the Old Republic cruiser. After they left, it became a hive for the Kubaza beetles, hence the name. Warning, the cavern was closed by the order of Milo Men-6 after a field crew of miners was lost to the beetles surveying the cavern. R.I.P. my guys. So that is activate the 3 miners there. Yeah, Fate of the Galaxy is interesting. It's an interesting quest line. It's interesting that it has 2 options at the end, but you know those options kind of check out given a couple of the quests in that requirement had you doing, you know, moral choices. Let me go down to the bridge and get the Smoking Forest update for the exploration quests too. But the Southern Jedi ruins. These ruins were uncovered roughly 18 years after the end of the Clone Wars. Mustafar simply shifted, and they were revealed. Off-worlders have become very excited by the discovery of these ruins and others like them. This marker, this waypoint I'm going to, is for the exploration of Mustafar quest, which that is the quest that will reward us with the map of Mustafar. Doing the markers, while not required for the Galaxy, obviously dumps some lore on you about the planet and what the setting is currently. So if you want the full picture of everything before doing Fate of the Galaxy, you do want to do the market quests to get those lore dumps, but I don't know, man. The lore is so scattered, in my opinion, when it comes to what's going on here. Like, it's not that it's poorly written, it's hard when it's contrasted with new canon. Why I want this trigger? Hello? Hold on, I'm trying to get this trigger before... Am I flying over the trigger? Because I'm not getting the Crystal Plains, Crystal Flats, or the Smoking Forest update. I don't have to hunt 5 Tulrus before this updates, right? No, that wouldn't make sense. Oh, there we go. Random question. When you pull up an ITV travel map, a player city shuttle port's blue. That mean they lost the shuttle? No, that's just a UI quirk that was introduced by the Legends devs when they were doing... What was it? They patched something and then they introduced that quirk. I don't remember what bug they patched, but, you know, it was one of those things where they patched a bug with the travel system, but then that broke other things. You know, the classic programmer situation. So no, the blue doesn't mean anything. It would be cool if they added Vader's Fortress here someday. Yeah, some people have put in suggestions for new Mustafar content. I myself have had some ideas, but I haven't suggested them because the Legends developers have a lot on their plate already, and I don't really think they are in. I think they have plenty of recommendations for new content. I think they're more focused on getting through the content that they already have planned. You know what I mean? Oh, I just drove under the lava. Cool. Like, I feel that if I throw anything on the pile in terms of like new content requests, and even if people like it and gets like approved, and even if the Legends devs like it, they're like, you know, working on Jedi theme park and then eventually Felucia as a planet. So the things that I'm more eager to recommend are like bug fixes or content updates that can be part of whatever other content they're working on. Because I feel like if you were to add anything to Mustafar, that'd be like a big new content thingy, not just like, oh yeah, we fixed this or added this feature to this thing or whatever. But here's the Smoking Forest minor marker. Mines like those in the Smoking Forest are very rare on Mustafar because they actually involve digging into the lava rock to extract minerals. While this is much harder than lava mining, the miners in the Smoking Forest produce some of the very rich veins of raw materials. Wow. This is also like an edge of the map where like I would never go. Just like, why would you come all the way out here other than to click this marker? Let's click this. Smoking Forest minor marker. Western Smoking Forest. The Smoking Forest was once thick with the black smoke that was released by giant rock formations. Over time, the formations sealed off and eventually toppled down. I almost feel like that's an excuse not to make more unique models, but whatever. I'm always suspicious of devs. The one part of the map with the cool lightning. Yeah, basically. It is cool lightning. Let's see if we can see it from here. There it is. There it is. Orange lightning. Woo! I feel like making a camp in an area that's very frequent with lightning strikes is really dumb, but that's just me. Well, I think Mustafar as an expansion is really cool. It definitely, I think Kashyyyk, even though I complain about some areas of Kashyyyk being too big, like the Majuro Caverns, it still had you like go to every part of the map if you were to do all the quests. So at least use the map, but like again, nothing takes you down to the bottom left except for the markers stuff. Nothing takes you off to this like west area except for the markers stuff. The only thing that takes you up to the northern camp is this marker stuff and like the Trials of Obi-Wan. So I feel like the overall world wasn't used particularly well. Burning Plains Bridge. Like the rest of the bridges on Mustafar, this bridge was built by the Kleger Corporation long before the start of the Clone Wars to connect the Smoky Forest and Burning Plains. Let's get this Burning Plains update, because I don't think I have this one yet. Because it's going to have us do some stuff. Cache is the better map experience, in my opinion. Yeah, I'd say traversing the map is more interesting overall. Oh yeah, there's this silencer here, by the way. Let's wait for a second. Click it. That's the DD6 Eliminator skin, by the way. Playing it during pre-NGE was a fun experience. Yeah, that's what other players were talking to me about while I was doing Kashyyyk Quest, because there was a lot of moments where I feel like this is supposed to be harder than it is, or why is this taking so long, or like, you know, like the Majuro Caverns was clearly used to be group content, but at level 90 you can just go do all that stuff by yourself. So definitely a different experience if you've played before them. So I don't remember the exact timeline for Trials of Obi-Wan, which was the Mustafar release, but I think the NGE came out like either right before or like within a week of Trials of Obi-Wan's release. I want to say, yeah, it was a few days before, which then, you know, that caused everybody to get an uproar and then issue a bunch of refunds for it because they're like, this isn't the game that I wanted to play, and I already bought this expansion pack. So then SOE had to issue a bunch of refunds to people who bought the expansion directly, which, man, that was a shit show. Not really a great idea to change your Gore game experience again completely right before a major expansion. But I get it. They were chasing WoW's tail and they weren't meeting their numbers. Like, I get hindsight's 2020, but I even feel like that decision in the moment was bad. Here's the northern burning plains. I went the wrong way. Well, that's fine. We'll go west. The surface crust on the burning plains is especially thin. This allows lava to nearly bubble through the surface. Most experts agree that if the area suffers a big enough earthquake, earthquake, that's the E, the entire plain will become a sea of lava. Wow. Imagine SWG lasting as long as WoW. Oh man, it did not have the content updates it needed over its lifetime to compete with WoW. That's not even saying that because they never got another big expansion, but the fact that they rolled out skill trees like one at a time, very slowly, it's pretty miserable. Like from like a live standpoint. I mean, imagine playing and it's all of a sudden Jedi now have a bunch of options, and you're still playing like medic, and all you got is like 2 heals, and you're like, I want to die. But either way, here's the Smoking Forest minor marker, the last one. Northern Jedi ruins. Like the other ruins located around this far, this ruin appeared after a major earthquake. It's in remarkable good shape. A geologist placed it right at the age to be 5,000 years old. Car game, yeah, the car game, the TCG. Was it a fun game? I got through the tutorial, but I never played anyone in it, and I never played beyond like the intro, and I was like, I'm not here to play a card game. I'm here to play an MMO. I know that someone runs a website emulator where it's hosted where you can play it, or they like host the exe there to play it. I have no idea what it plays like. I straight up just don't remember. The thing that I hated about the TCG were the loot cards, because they didn't quite make the game pay to win, but like the G9, the Corellian G9 Rigger Freighter. That was a loot card, which is a huge convenience item and actually can be a strategic advantage in PvP. So that kind of is dick. That's kind of dick. You were wasting your money on those spicy loots. I mean, you felt that it was worth your money at the time, so look at it that way. Here's the Burning Plains marker. Temple ruins. Warning, these ruins are closed by the order of Milo Mensix. Everyone who spends any time in these ruins seems to lose their minds. Miners who have visited these ruins and returned have reported a very uneasy feeling, like they were being watched. The ruins themselves seem to be that of a great temple of unknown origin. Cool. Here's the central Burning Plains marker. There are only a few points of high elevation in the Burning Plains. When the plains finally are swallowed by the lava, those areas will become important mining islands. Wow. Mining islands. Anyways, here we are at Central Volcano Bridge marker, another bridge built by the Kleiger Corporation. This bridge leads to the second largest volcano in the region. Although a poor source of resources, the volcano is invaluable as a landmark on the ever-shifting world. Okay, so I'm at the other marker, the Birken's Flow Bridge marker. Another Kleiger Corp bridge that shows the wear of time on its steel frame. That's steel? That's supposed to be a steel bridge? What? Maybe that was supposed to be a steel bridge at one point in time, but in the development they changed it to look more like natural rock bridges. That is not a steel bridge. Anyways, there are 2 disruptor rifles here. I think only one of them counts, but maybe you can click either. I don't know why there are 2. Yeah, there's just 2 here. Oops. Gotta hunt Zandanks. Now that we've visited the Birkenflow, there's a quick trigger. Countermand. Is this a pistol? That's a pistol. Yeah, they ran out of time on Trials of everyone. They're like, we don't have, we need a new steel texture. We don't want to use the mining facility texture again. We got rock textures. Okay, fuck it. Rock textures it is. Oh yeah, here's a Jundank Devourer. This is one of the random named creature NPCs you can find around the map. It only spawns up around here. I don't think it's linked to any quest or collection. I don't think it drops anything unique either. Dropped a bad ISO. But there is the Mustafar modified carbine, so we're going to grab that, which here's the skin again. I guess I can generate my lava skiff since it's not tradable. I'm not moving. Eat my ass. There's lava skiff, everybody. Yay! This is what you get off of Lord Vartonis. Yay! Yes, it is lava resistance, but is also very, very, very slow. So, no. I am not going to use it. You can't make me. Okay, there's all this Tulrus. I'm kind of regretting being like, yeah, I'll kill all the optional slay a billion things quest. All right, so back up at the Old Republic facility. Let's click its marker after I get rid of the coattail chasers here. All right, let's click this marker. Old Republic facility warning. Sealed by the order of the Mila Mensix. This ancient facility dating back to the days of the Old Republic is overrun with the still active security droids and the occasional beast which gets trapped inside. So those two creatures we found earlier were just trapped in there, and same with the lava fleas, I guess, and the Kubaza beetles. Weird. How do they get in there? But I'm going to destroy my favorite droid buddy again. Give me more liquid, bruh. Here's the Jedi Ruins marker, back with the Stormlord again, because I just love him so much. The ruins were uncovered. At its warning, the party of archaeologists who were examining these ruins formed themselves into some sort of dangerous cult. They worship a man they call the Stormlord and will attack anyone who does not accept him as a god. Oh, damn, some of these updates seem pretty recent. What miner is coming out here and being like, I gotta figure out what the local goings on are around here. I gotta update this fucking pole in the middle of the area. Maybe it's droids, I don't know. Birkin's Floor, named after the famed Mustafarian Jedi Birkin. Oh, I didn't even know this was named after a Jedi. Birkin's Flow was once the richest source of raw minerals in the known galaxy. The wealth of Mustafar all started with the discovery of Birkin's Flow. Today, most of the minerals extracted Birkin's Flow. Most of this minerals extracted, Birkin's Flow is used only for the smallest of mining operations. Wow. They sucked it dry, kids. Slurped it right up. Tulrus Island Bridge. The Clay Corp bridge connects Birkin's Flow to the Tulrus nesting grounds. Due to the highly dangerous nature of the nesting grounds, their relative lack of resources, the bridge is hardly ever used. Wow. Alright, so here's the droid factory. We're not going in that today, but there it is. Wow. We're over here for the miner marker, and we'll do one more thing while we're down here. Separatist Droid Factory. Built by the Separatists prior to the end of the Clone Wars, some months before their leadership was found murdered at the old Clegger mining facility, no mining crews who have entered the factory have ever come back. Spooky. Alright, there's the CWW class Eradicator who spawns back here. He's a great guy to come and defeat because he drops a dimly glowing canister. Has a chance to, at least. And so every time I'm out here by Droid Factory, I usually whack him like a pinata, as that is a frequently used dimly glowing loot item in many combinations. Did we get it? Yeah, we did. There we go. It's dimly glowing canister. There it is. This is another good one to find. Khoiset Land Bridge marker. This natural land bridge connects the mining fields to the Khoiset mine camp. The Khoiset mining camp sits on one of the richest mineral deposits on Mustafar and heavily defended by the miners. Wow. Southern Lava Falls marker. Mustafar's wealth comes from entirely natural resources. The lava bridges of rare metals. Lava brings up rare metals and ores to the surface, where they are easily collected by the miners. Wow. Another mining field marker near the old mining facility. Grab that. Destroyed mining facility. This facility was destroyed and abandoned shortly before the end of the Clone Wars. Salvage crews who investigated the facility after destruction found the bodies of many leading separatists, including some like Viceroy Newt Gunray of the Trade Federation, murdered by a lightsaber. Who murdered him? We'll never know. It's a mystery. Mensik Mining Facility. Mensik Mining Facility was built shortly after the destruction of the old mining facility. The new facility is nearly an exact replica of the old facility, and most of the technology dates back to the days of the Old Republic. Wow. Alright, so we're going to hit this Crystal Flats to get this exploration update, which now I need to kill lava fleas. Oh yeah, I do need to kill a bunch of lava fleas still. Good thing they're right here. We completed the exploration Mustafar quest, and we got the map of Mustafar, by the way, everybody. There's a large map outlining the topography of the planet Mustafar, which is just the map you get in your overworld, but you can put it in your house. It is no trade, though, so keep that in mind. That's probably why I don't see more of them. Crossroads. The Crossroads is not really located at any sort of road. There is no true roads on Mustafar. The ever-shifting moon makes it impossible to maintain any sort of permanent road system. The name comes from what the locals call the strip where they leave the relative safety of the mining fields for the wilder parts of the planet. All right, here's the Crystal Flats miner marker. Salvage bandit camp. Warning, proceed at your own risk. This used to be a field miner's camp until it was overrun by salvage bandits. These Mustafarians belong to no company and will simply steal anything that isn't nailed down. So while we're here, I wanted to show, this is where you can like get the contraband items. You'll sometimes see people AFKing here, but more importantly, if you come over here, you'll see a NPC named Boss Uruli. So we beat him and his guards up. Should have fucked up on the pay target. Did we loot it? Yeah, one of these is like rare. I think it's the impulse detector. It's either the impulse detector or maybe the distress beacon. But he dropped specific glowy loot. Oh yeah, and I guess there's a sword collection item we can get while we're here. But yeah, but there's no reason to come down here other than that miner marker. I feel like this was probably supposed to be something at some point in time, but then they just never got around to like finishing quest content for it. Oh, there we go. We gotta gather the skin of a named Blistmock who's on the north end, and so that will work. Cool. Map of Mustafar may only be equipped, placed in the inventory bank or house. This item may not be placed in containers other than the top level. Why? It's just no trade. It's not even no trade unique. Whatever. Crystal Falls. The Crystal Falls are a rich source of crystalline ore. The area at the base of the falls is covered with rocks that have grown from the rich crystal minerals that flow from these falls. Wow. But, all right, here's this bridge marker. Built by the Clegger Corporation when they were the dominant mining corporation on Mustafar, these bridges were originally formed out of steel, although you wouldn't know it by looking at them now. Years in the harsh environment have coated the bridges with volcanic ash and rock, so they now look like the natural rock formation. There you go. That explained the steel bridges. Now I know. I got the deep lore. Yeah, we get an explanation. It's just on one of the many markers you have to click, so good luck finding that one. Let's go kill the named Blistmock that we need to for this Skin the Blistmock's quest. Here's Origin, a named Blistmock. There it goes. And with that, we get the Blistmock skin. Oh, excuse me, sir. You've completed the Skin the Blistmock quest. We got the cool Blistmock rug. Kind of sad. I like these guys. I don't like killing them all. When you lay it flat, though, it kind of looks like a wide, flat-ass crocodile. Kinda, if you squint. All right, so we've got all the minor markers, so we can go back to the Surveyor, and we can get our reward, I believe. So let's do that. All right, here's Surveyor Joe Keslev. Hello again, my friend. You certainly have done a wonderful job and saved me all sorts of trouble trying to check all of those markers out. And as promised, here is your Tanray Heart Crystal. Thank you again. Thank you. Master, Mustafar Trailblazer. A deal's a deal. Safe travels, my friend. I forgot this was even a badge. I'm gonna be real with you. There it is, Master Trailblazer. And then we got the red evil Trials of Obi-Wan. Ooh, we betrayed Obi-Wan. All right, and there it is, the mounted lava lizard heart. I don't know why they call it a lava lizard. It is kind of a cool deco item. It's not super big, though. But it is kind of neat. All right, so today we on Mustafar we cleaned out the book and we did Fate of the Galaxy. We did a lot of side stuff. There might be a side quest or two I'm missing. If I did, let me know like in the comments, or if anyone comes back later, post in the Discord or whatever, just let me know. But next time I'm gonna get a friend in here and we're going to do wrong place, wrong time, and we're gonna run through the Champion of Mustafar series of quests, which will be a lot of dungeons to do. So that should be a lot of fun. But thanks everybody, and I'll see you on the next one.